just wanna change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't wanna hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. Change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. I will never be alone. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Yo, yo, yo. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, oh, 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 oh. Yo, 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 yo. Ooh, oh, 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 oh. Wednesday night. Paint away. Day and night. 6 hearts, hope I'm okay. You're alright, goodbye. And if someone new is pulling everywhere. I'm afraid to let them. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Yeah, baby. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Yeah, 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 yeah. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. Nothing is what I think. Yeah, 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 yeah. 'Cause I will drown in pink. Oh, 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 oh. Yo, dude, you got a job working nights? No. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need? Woo! Let's go! Come on! Oh! Here we go! Here we go! Here we go! Let's go! All right. Dude, I cut it at a high energy point because I knew I had to get out of there, dude. I could just sing for like forever and ever. But, dude, we gotta just get rocking. All right? We gotta get into it. Guys, like, bro, can I just tell you what a fucking day, okay? Dude, today has been mental, all right? I mean, it's not really the huge news day. You know what I'm saying? Elite, let's go. Let's go, brother. Oh, thank you, boss. It's not really like today was this huge news day, but I feel like it kind of was a huge news day in its own sort of way. Because they're like the MAGA civil war is like massive fucking like massive cracks. Okay. And so here's a little bit about what we're going to talk about. Okay. Like number one is Megyn Kelly went on Piers Morgan. Okay. And now there's a new MAGA split, and the new MAGA split to protect Donald Trump is that Netanyahu lied to Trump. Okay. So you have Megyn Kelly on Piers Morgan being like, Netanyahu lied to Trump. Netanyahu, Mark Levin, and Lindsey Graham set Trump up. But you ready for this? You also got Benny Johnson doing the same thing.
Benny Johnson today made a video that is like, Netanyahu lied to President Trump. So now you're like, whoa. And now like Laura Loomer and some of the other like super Zionist Trumpies are like livid at Benny Johnson. And so that is yet another sort of crack going on. Now, simultaneously, yeah, Benny is like, dude, Benny is coming out of the closet, boss. Okay, but simultaneously, guys, we have one of the craziest fucking Republican primaries in history is about to happen in Florida, because you have Randy Fine, right? That special election winner, that gnarly, slovenly, like weird super Zionist pig. Okay, Randy Fine. Well, Dan Bilzerian, who is like this crazy anti-Semitic freak, you know, he was like the Andrew Tate before there was Andrew Tate. Dan Bilzerian is running against Randy Fine. And dude, oh my God, it is like Florida man versus Florida man. Dude, we have to look at this. This is insane. It's like day one. And what it's doing though is it is galvanizing like this MAGA battle, okay? Within. Daniel, you're nervous about California? Yeah. No, I understand you being nervous about California. There's a reason to be nervous about California. California right now is a shit show, okay? It is. California elections are sort of a disaster, and you have that Swalwell stuff going on. You know, Katie Porter, like, I don't know, ever since she ran against Adam Schiff, she's lost a lot of support. There have been a lot of smears against her. Like, yeah, California's a shit show. But dude, so there is some weird shit going on. Now, of course, the start of the day, okay, like the very first thing, we're gonna look at the Bilzerian stuff in a minute, okay? But the very first thing that I saw today, okay, it was this. Like the very first thing that we saw was this, okay? This was a White House, right, you know, the White House briefing or whatever, and Fox News said this.
As Iran claims Israel is violating the agreement by bombing Hezbollah in Lebanon. And as you mentioned a moment ago, breaking right now, Iranian state media says Iran is closing the Strait of Hormuz again in response. All
right, so Trump gets his big ceasefire at 7 p.m. and by 7 a.m., Iran was already like, you know what? Actually, we're closing the Strait of Hormuz. Fuck you. Because, you know, Israel won't stop. Okay? Right. It's open, but it's closed. Then, though, guys, it got weirder. I mean, it got weirder, guys. Because as soon as that happened, Caroline Leavitt said it's not closed. Okay? So, right? Like Caroline Leavitt in the press conference said this.
Thank you, John. The White House posted the statement from the Iranian government that passage in the strait will be coordinated with Iran's armed forces. As of today, who controls the Strait of Hormuz?
Again, these statements were put out 12 hours ago. We expect that the strait will be opened immediately. As I've said earlier, we have seen an uptick in traffic in the strait, and it's something that we are monitoring minute by minute, hour by hour as the days go on.
Dude, so she's like, you know, dude, she's trying to fucking, we expect it to be open immediately. There was an uptick in the strait today, right? And it says 3 ships were observed going through. Normally it's 135 a day and 3 went through. She's like, there's been an uptick. I don't know about that. Okay. I don't know about that. Okay. I'm not really the strait is closed. Okay. And she was saying the strait was not closed, right? Or we expect it to be open. But obviously the ceasefire that Trump negotiated, this big ceasefire, lasted, I don't know. What was that? 12 hours? 14 hours? I mean, it was not very long. Okay. Iran instantly closed this thing down, and there were more attacks with Israel because basically, here's the deal. Iran is not going to have any type of ceasefire unless it includes Israel regionally. Okay? That's really the deal. I mean, if we look at this, the U.S. shouldn't even be involved. We shouldn't even be fighting over there. Okay? Iran has had nothing to do with us. Israel has wanted to go to a war with Iran for like 30 years. Okay? They're finally going to war. U.S. got involved because of Trump and Netanyahu being a good buddy of Charles Kushner. Oh, come here, Jared. Right? So the thing is Iran is like, if we can't call off Israel, Iran is, there's no point in them doing a ceasefire. There's literally no point. Why would they do it? Their life would be miserable. Like they're going to keep fighting until Israel stands down. So, dude, Trump is like in such a pickle, guys. I mean, think about the pickle that Trump has gotten himself into. He got himself into this war, and now he can't get out because even if he tries to get out, if Israel keeps fighting, there's nothing going to happen. And yeah, Bingewood, you're right. The ceasefire was completely a mirage. Okay, it was, because Trump just said, oh, I'm not going to blow any shit up, and as long as Iran opens the strait, we're going to be good. But there was no negotiation. He didn't do anything. He just basically agreed to not blow shit up for 2 more weeks. And then Iran sent over their conditions. And Trump is now realizing, though, dude, he can't get out. He cannot get out because he's about to get Joe Biden. Okay. And what do I mean by getting Joe Biden? Joe Biden kept saying, Israel, you better stop in Gaza. And then Netanyahu said, fuck you, make me. And he just kept decimating Gaza. And I mean, what was Biden going to do? Right? Okay, he could cut off the money, but they have tons of fucking weapons and shit. You know what I'm saying? So Biden was in a pickle because if they, right? I mean, what's Trump going to do? He cuts off the money, and then the Republicans have no money in the elections because all of their money comes from AIPAC. So, like, Trump is fucked because Israel's not going to stop. Dude, isn't that crazy? Oh my God. Like, it is insane. And Trump has no way out, dude. He has no way out, right?
That is completely unacceptable. And again, this is a case of what they're saying publicly is different privately. We have seen an uptick of traffic in the strait today, and that is completely unacceptable.
Dude,
and again,
an uptick. Oh, shit, bro. Okay, so now dude, you ready? So look at this, though, because there were people like Holly Handjob, okay, who was running around. You know, what did he post yesterday? He said, so now that Iran caved and agreed to not only open the strait, but also agreed to a double-sided ceasefire, I assume all of those attacking President Trump will admit they're wrong. And I'm like, yo, homie, turn on the news, bro. Turn on the news. Oh, shit. Dude, let's go. Put a link to the Trump health stuff. So, dude, like, this was the prevailing thing today, guys, is that Hormuz is still closed, okay? And, right, Hormuz is closed, and fucking, right? Dude, but look at this shit, though. You ready? So now, guys, check this out, okay? So the thing that's crazy about this is, remember how Trump was like livid because a couple $2 billion went to Iran of their money? Okay, remember? So now apparently Iran is going to be able to charge $2 million per ship or something to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. And if that's the case, they will be making like $280 million a day. Okay. Which means they're going to make hundreds of billions of dollars in the next 2 to 5 years. Hundreds. Okay. Like, and what's more is, if each of those ships gets charged $2 million, what do you think is going to happen to the price of everything that's on that ship, bro? Right? Isn't that crazy? Dude, that is some wage. Like Trump may have just given Iran like an insane pay raise, right? In exchange for all of us having more expensive gas. The art of the deal, bro. Jesus, dude. What the fuck? Dude. Crazy. Unfucking real, boss. Yeah, the Iran money was their assets, right? That was fucking their fucking, that was their shit. All right? Dude, look at these guys, though. These guys posting. The Strait of Hormuz was closed for 47 years, but tonight Donald Trump opened it. Dude, this guy is a fucking senior editor for a conservative magazine, bro. What are these guys, dude? Absolute fucking clowns, boss. They just lie. They just lie and lie and lie and lie. Jesus, dude. Right. Dude, what does Trump say? Okay, tonight. This is tonight. This is Trump's latest tweet, guys. And he says, all U.S. ships, aircraft, and military personnel with additional ammunition, weaponry, and anything else that is appropriate and necessary for the lethal prosecution and destruction of an already substantially degraded enemy will remain in place and around Iran until such time as the real agreement is reached, as the real agreement reached is fully complied with. If for any reason it is not, which is highly unlikely, then the shooting starts, bigger and better and stronger than anyone has ever seen before. It was agreed a long time ago, and despite all the fake rhetoric to the contrary, no nuclear weapons, and the Strait of Hormuz will be open and safe. In the meantime, our great military is loading up and resting, looking forward, actually, to its next conquest. America is back. Dude, you know what? It is like exhausting is such a good word for it. I mean, isn't it? He is just exhausting. It is like every day, it is just a petulant, whiny, oh, I shit my diaper again. Oh, come here, Melania. Come here, Jared. Come here, little Marco. Every day, dude, is just like, what the fuck? Every day. We just have to listen to him cry and whine and threat. And I mean, here's the problem. So we saw all day yesterday, you saw the right wingers say, dude, it's just Trump. He's not seriously going to blow anything up. He's just negotiating. But here's the problem, guys. You ready? If everybody knows he's not going to do anything and he's just negotiating, then the motherfucker has no leverage. Okay? Leverage doesn't work that way if everybody knows you're full of hot air. Okay? When you make a bunch of empty threats and you change them, 48 hours, 48 more hours, the end of the week, 48 hours, 2 more weeks, right? I mean, why would Iran do anything? They're like, fuck that, bro. Israel's still attacking us. We're not ceasefiring. We're closing the strait. Fuck you. What are you going to do? Right? 2 more weeks, right? Because Trump is a bullshit artist, okay? He is a bullshit artist with his little threats. Crying wolf. Yeah, he cries wolf, cries wolf, cries wolf. And now we're kind of stuck. But guys, there are midterms coming up. And so, I mean, we're in, okay? We're in. We're going to suffer a little bit this year. Dude, I already was suffering going to the grocery store. I went to the grocery store today, and it was like, dude, the ground beef was crazy. I didn't buy any ground beef, but dude, the ground beef is like almost as expensive as the steaks, bro. Like, what the fuck? How is it that a steak is only $18, but a thing of ground beef is like 15? Dude, it is nuts, dude. Like, dude, you're better off just buying a fucking steak, bro. I bought a grass-fed New York strip steak, and it was literally not that much more expensive than the ground beef, dude. Insane, boss. Right? But everything else, though, was like hiked, dude. Everything else was hiked, guys. It was. Everything like normally the grocery store I shop at has like, you know, buy 2, get 1 free or whatever. Or there's stuff that's like, you know, with your little card, it's like 30% off. Dude, this shit was not like, nothing was discounted for the most part. Dude, everything was like jacked up. And some of the shit was like more expensive than it was 2 weeks ago, dude. Okay? Dude, it was crazy. Bro, chips are insane. $7 a bag. Yeah. No, if you want to get chips, honestly, you got to go to Trader Joe's. They're the only place where you can get like decent price chips now. It's like crazy. Dude, we're getting hammered. Anyway, it's an election year. So, dude, we're gonna flip some shit. Okay? We're gonna flip some shit. You may have seen this, but look at this, guys. You know I don't like these prediction markets, but there's a 𝗙cie for 2028. For right? Look at this, dude. This does not bode well for them. Okay, look at that shit, bro. Dude, Democrats 41% to win full sweep, dude. Dude, crazy. 2028 Republican sweep is 16%, and Dem House, Republican Senate, Dem President 18%. Dude, that's brutal. So now here's the deal, though, guys. You ready? If this happens, okay, I feel like the Dems are going to get one chance to erase the filibuster and go ham. Okay? Do you not feel like that? Like, I feel like they have a chance if we take all 3 back and they get rid of the filibuster and they actually start, you know, expanding the Supreme Court and start really pounding away at doing some crazy shit. If they do that, this could be revolutionary for the U.S., okay? if they don't do it, if they just like sit around in gridlock, I think it's going to be fucked up. Honestly, I think it's going to be fucked up. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I feel like they gotta know. They gotta know, okay? They gotta know that, like, because here's the deal, guys. If they don't do that, the Republicans are eventually just gonna end the democracy. It's literally like, we're not gonna have a fucking democracy anymore, right? And say that quietly. I'm not gonna make a huge video about it. I'm keeping it on the down low. But like, you know, because I don't want to fucking, you know, create a whole excitement on the other side. But the fact of the matter is they have to realize if we don't do some extreme change, like there's going to be like 0% democracy left. Okay. Like zero. Okay. I mean, you know, I mean, American democracy was already pretty, you know, corporate, if you know what I mean. But so, dude, we'll see. Okay, we will see. We will see. I mean, we're gonna start seeing what happens with. Okay, we're gonna start seeing what happens when we take back the House in November. I think that's gonna be a good sign, just in the beginning. It's a clear case of price manipulation for Trump and his buddy to do a pump and dump. I mean, yeah, I guess so. But dude, there's no way the Republicans are winning all three in 2028. There's no fucking way, bro. Dude, there's no way. There's no chance of that. Dude, the Republicans are going to get smoked in November. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Dude, Dems are going to blow it. I don't believe so. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, you know, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt until they do blow it, right? They've not really had a chance like this. I mean, you know, with Joe Biden was not the guy. Like, we knew the filibuster wasn't going under Biden, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, we knew that. Like, Biden, I mean, we knew. I'll be honest. With Biden, I thought, I was a little surprised. Biden was actually a tiny bit less conservative than I expected him to be. Okay? I like never liked Joe Biden. Like, never from the beginning. I mean, I supported him, right? And he did surprise me in some ways, but I mean, Joe Biden was like the conservative white guy that they attached to Barack Obama to make him palatable to middle America, right? And so, you know, but dude, it's going to be interesting, to say the least. All right? Dude, I mean, fucking steps, baby. Baby steps, baby. Dude, all the leftists are getting mad at me because of this tweet about Jill Stein. Okay, now guys, listen to me. I understand people being extremely upset with Democrats. I understand not liking that there are some APAC Democrats. I understand being frustrated with the American political system. I get it. I totally get it. You have every right to be upset with the American political system, to be pissed off at Democrats, to be mad at the bullshit that we have to deal with. Our tools suck. However, if you are voting for Jill Stein, you're a fucking moron, okay? Because she has no chance of winning. She has been in the Green Party for 24 years, and she has not gotten one candidate in her party elected. Not in a state house, not in Congress, nowhere. She's done nothing. She's accomplished nothing, okay? She has no allies in Congress. There's no way she could win, and even if she did win, she has no allies to do anything. She would just be a fucking, like a smoldering pile of refuse sitting in the Oval Office. So anybody who thinks like voting for Jill Stein saved them from genocide or whatever, you're full of shit, okay? You're full of shit. You know what I'm saying? You're absolutely full of shit. And so a lot of people got upset at me about that because they're like, you don't make demands or whatever. Now, I personally, guys, when I vote for people, I vote for the best candidate available. Okay, I do. I vote for the best candidate available. I don't go up to the left-wing candidate and say, if you don't meet my personal demands, I am not voting for you. I don't work like that, right? I mean, I'm just one guy, dude. There's 300 million Americans. Why the fuck should they have to commit to like my thing? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just look at the candidates available. In the primary, I vote for the one that I fucking really want to win. And then in the general election, I vote for the better option. Okay? That's what I do. And I feel good about that. You know, it's like, I wish I could do more. I wish I could somehow stage a revolt and get Americans to all be battling for healthcare and shit. But like, dude, most Americans don't seem up for the fight, man. Most Americans just, they don't even come out for the fucking primaries, dude. I mean, if you looked at the voter turnouts during the primaries, it's like, bro, like literally like 2% of the voting population show up during the primaries. Like, America, we're so disengaged, you know? Dude, membership, dude, let's go, big tree hugger, let's go. You never voted for Gavin? Dude, a lot of people don't like Gavin. Although if you live in California, you better hope Steve Hilton doesn't win, bro, or you guys are going to be screwed. There's no difference between red and blue. See, I disagree with that. I think there's a little bit of difference between red and blue, guys. And you know, I've definitely, like, you know, in Oregon, we have a blue government and there's healthcare. The OHP is really good. If you're a bartender, you make under 50 grand, like, your healthcare here in Oregon is amazing. Okay, it's fully funded. It's good quality healthcare too. You're not going to some shit thing. That was done by a blue government. Okay, it was done because they expanded Medicaid under Barack Obama's Obamacare, which was done by Democrats. I mean, it's not like they haven't been perfect, but they're definitely better. As bad as they are still 150% better than Republicans. And they're better on civil rights. They're better on like all kinds of aspects, okay? They're not perfect, but to say they're one and the same is not true. It's absolutely not true. If we had a Republican government, guys, for 20 years, there would be no food stamps. There would be no Social Security. It would be privatized. They'd only be paying it to the people they wanted to pay it to. Minorities and gay people wouldn't even be able to collect Social Security. They would get rid of all like unemployment benefits. They would get rid of all worker benefits. They would like probably do a national abortion ban. Like, my God, dude, if we had nothing but Republican rule for 20 years, this country would look just like fucking Saudi Arabia, except we wouldn't be wearing the robes. That's it. That'd be the only difference, but it'd be the same shit. And so as much as you can hate the Democrats for not being, you know, radical enough, which I understand, and maybe not taking on the corporate interests more, which, you know, I'd like to see them do, there still is a world of difference. If you look at a state like Oregon run by fucking Democrats, you go to a state like Kansas run by Republicans where their school is 4 days a week, their roads are filled with potholes, and all of their communities are piss poor and have nothing but a fucking Walmart, you would see that there's a very big difference between Republicans and Democrats. Dude, pendulous, they might make us wear war robes. They might, dude. Dude, if they do, I'm wearing a kilt. Fuck them. Dude, you know, more people need to support progressives in the primaries. Yeah, it's tough though, guys, because what I noticed is the primaries are kind of getting rat fucky. Like, I don't know if you've noticed this, but it seems like there's always, like, a lot of times in the Democratic primary, if there's a progressive running, there will be like 4 Democrats running. Have you noticed this? Dude, every time a progressive runs, like 4 Democrats run, which sort of dilute a little bit of the vote. Okay, I've noticed this. I feel like people are trying to rat fuck. There's a lot of rat fucking going on in our elections, just in general. Okay, just in general. There's like, you know, and there's people that are conservative that are running as progressives, like Fetterman, right? Dude, Casey says no difference between red and blue. That's some dumb shit right there. Yes. That is indeed some dumb shit, Casey. I agree. Dude, let's go. Let's fucking go. I agree with that wholeheartedly. But yeah, I don't know. Have you noticed we've had a lot of Fettermans and Kyrsten Sinema's where they run as a progressive and then all of a sudden they get like weird fucking, you know, doing the hands down curtsy on the minimum wage raise and all that shit. It's like, bro, what are we doing, dude? What are we doing? Okay, what are we fucking doing? Robes sound kind of cool. Dude, robes could be cool if they were like bathrobes. Dude, everybody wearing bathrobes. But anyway, I still believe that Dems can, dude, yeah, Joe is just, by the way, Joe is trolling, guys. He's going to do a Newsom he's going to do a Newsom Jeffries thing here in about a minute, dude. Right? But anyway, so I still think the Dems are movable, okay? And I think the Republicans are not. All right? And the Republicans are getting worse, guys. They're getting worse. Can I show you? Can we look at the Bilzerian, dude? Look at this, dude. So Dan Bilzerian is running for Congress against Randy Fine. Okay? Guys, dude, this is the Florida man election. Okay? And guys, this is a sign of, this is like the first America First versus MAGA. That's what this is, guys. Remember how we talked about MAGA and America First? We've been talking about this for weeks. Nick Fuentes is doing the America First. He's opting out of MAGA. Candace and Tucker are America First. So the split here is Israel, right? And this guy is a crazy Zionist. Like, he'll say the nastiest shit about everybody in the Middle East. Like, this guy is so toxic. Okay, this guy is beyond Zionist, and this guy is completely anti-Semitic. Like so. Although what he says is what Dan Bilzerian, his exact quote. Dan Bilzerian says he says he's not anti-Semitic, he's anti-Jewish, is what he says. Dude, he is like, the guy's not hiding it, dude. He hates them. Okay, he fucking hates. Dude, he is crazy. This guy is like outrageous. But now, guys, you got to look at this because this guy is a Trump stooge, is total MAGA. Okay, this guy, MAGA, Trump stooge, Zionist, Netanyahu, Israel all the way. This guy is like, you know, hates women, right? Although he says he loves them, but he loves women in an Andrew Tate kind of way. He's like a misogynist, like ultra wealthy groyper. His dad is like a crook. Okay, Bilzerian's dad like owes the SEC like $180 million. His dad like committed a whole bunch of securities fraud and shit. and went to prison. And Dan Bilzerian is like, you know, people suspect he's taking money out of companies that his dad had stashed away. But he is like super anti-Semitic. But this is showing you the bridge, the gap right now in MAGA. Okay. If you look at Dan Bilzerian, okay, look at this shit. You have all these people like Myron Gaines, right? I know who I'm voting for, and it's not the fat dude. Okay. And you have Jake Shields. All the anti-Semites are coming out. I endorse Dan Bilzerian for Congress. Now, this guy is going to be supported by like James Fishback and Nick Fuentes. All of these guys, all of the American firsters are going to be rallying around this guy. And dude, the August 18th is the primary. So this is the summer, all summer. It's going to be America First versus MAGA, which means everybody's going to be taking sides. And we're already seeing it. We're going to look in a little bit with Megyn Kelly and Benny Johnson. Dude, yeah, no, Fishback is insane, dude. I mean, here's the deal, guys. I look at these guys, okay? I look at both of these guys. There's not a good option, okay? There is not a good option, okay? Because this guy is an anti-Semitic, America First griper, like, woman abuser piece of trash. And this guy is like an uber Zionist, racist, crazy, like, you know, hell pig of a MAGA shitter who would eat the corn out of Trump's shit. You know what I'm saying? Gleefully, like the Gunther Eagleman banana. You know what I'm saying? Dude. But what's crazy, though, is I don't think Bilzerian even lives in Florida. He's from Tampa, but he doesn't even live in Florida. But look at him, though. Okay, here's his dad. His dad is Paul Bilzerian, okay, who he was the chairman and CEO of Singer Corporation. The sewing machine company became like a defense company in the 80s. And he was convicted on 9 felony counts of federal crimes, okay, including criminal conspiracy, making false statements, securities fraud, tax fraud, and security law violations. And then he tried suing the SEC and he lost that. He owes $180 million. Dude, 4 years in prison. This is his dad, okay? This guy is a train wreck. Okay, and there's his son, Dan, though. And Dan, though, this guy is just really a train wreck as well. Okay, so he had trust funds from his father. And so from the very beginning, he's like flying on private jets. And he used to always take these pictures with a bunch of like bikini models and shit. All right, he did the World Series of Poker. And he finished in 180th place. But then what he did was he started using social media to say that, oh, I won 10 million playing poker. I just won, 50 million this year playing poker. And he started like building a social media image of himself, right? Meanwhile, he was getting sued for like Ponzi scheme shit. And he was like making up fake shit that he won, 10 million here and 3 million there. He went on Joe Rogan. Okay. He went on Joe Rogan and Joe Rogan like platformed him and he became, one of the Rogan notoriety guys. All right. Then he started a company, or he was like part of a company that I think was laundering money from his father while his father was in jail. And then he had some interactions with women here. Okay. Where he beat up a woman. This was in a Miami nightclub in 2014. He kicked a model in the face during a brawl. He kicked a woman in the face. Okay, he had a lawsuit regarding that. Then he had the adult actress Janice Griffith. He was supposed to throw her into a pool from a roof. And he threw her and she missed the pool and she broke her leg. And so that was another like episode. This guy's had a lot of episodes of being, you know, fucking, you know, there's been a lot of clownery. Okay. And then he got arrested in the airport for like trying to make a bomb or something, possessing an incendiary device. Dude. Like, what an idiot. Right? Dude, you know? And I mean, he is like, you know, this guy's a train wreck. Okay? This guy is an absolute fucking train wreck, bro. Dude, did he hide the bomb in his beard? I don't know, probably. Isn't it wild? But guys, these are the people that are running for fucking Congress now, dude. Dude, what are we doing when a trust fund kid who kicks women in the face and steals money and does Ponzi schemes and his whole life is a fraud, when those are the people running for Congress? Like, where are we at, guys? You know what I mean? Where are we at? And the crazy thing is I can't tell which one of these guys would be worse. Now, personally, between you and me, guys, you ready? I think if Dan Bilzerian won the primary, he would be easier for the Democrats to beat, okay? I think this guy would be easier to beat from the Democratic standpoint, okay? Because he's so extreme and out there and crazy and openly like, you know, I don't know, James Fishbacky, right? He's just outrageous. But I honestly don't know who's going to win, guys. Right? Dude, it is like Florida is so bad, bro. Florida, yeah, well, Fine won though, but it was during a special election, okay? So the Fine win was like, special elections are weird. They're ultra low turnout. You know what I'm saying? They're usually like really, really small turnout. I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting to say the least. All right. But dude, so here, you ready? So here's the fucking thing, dude.
You called your opponent this fat Jew. So he's not from Israel, but you called a guy in Florida this fat Jew. How is that not anti-Semitic?
Well, he's a Jewish supremacist, and he puts Israel before America, and I think that, you know, he should be tried for treason.
This fat Jew is anti-Semitic,
yes. Dan. I mean, that's what you say, but how about every single time that he blasts
That's what
Muslims?
I know. I don't say it. I know
he literally talks about how Muslims are lower than dogs. So is that Islamophobic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be, that's not appropriate for him to say either. If he had said that.
But he does all the time, and he tweets that, and he's a senator.
Are you anti-Semitic?
No, I'm not anti-Semitic.
Well, he's not a senator. Dude, Bilzerian, dude. He's not, he's a senator. Dude, he's not a senator, man. Dan Bilzerian, you're not running for Senate, just so you know. I mean, dude, Bilzerian's like, I mean, he's horribly Islamophobic, and Bilzerian is incredibly anti-Semitic. So it is like the MAGA v. like MAGA. But dude, and he's a senator, dude. Now, Dan, I hope Dan didn't sign to run for the senator race. Dude, Bilzerian, like, maybe he signed the wrong paper, dude.
Semitic, I think that, you know, that's kind of a made-up term. I think the Palestinians are the real
made-up
Semites.
term?
Yes, because if you look at what a Semite
was
is,
Hitler anti-Semitic?
What's that?
Was Hitler anti-Semitic?
Like I said, it's the term is focused solely on Jews, but actual Semites are the Arabs, and you know, Palestinians are Semites as well. and they actually have more, DNA lineage to that region than any of the Eastern European Ashkenazi Jews that have taken it from them. So, I kind of have issue with that term and how it's been hijacked to only talk about Jews.
So if you want to call it anti-Jewish, then you can call it anti-Jewish.
Well, I'm not going to call this anti-Jewish. When you say that this fat Jew, you could take another race and you could use another
Dude, this is an actual news program right here, dude. Like, think about this, guys. You know what I'm saying? It's like the craziest reality TV show, bro.
But you're anti-Semitic, Dan.
I'm not. I have Jewish friends.
Oh, some of your best friends are Jewish?
I don't paint all Jews with one brush, but he paints all Muslims with one brush, and it's accepted. And for some reason in this country, it is okay to just blast Muslims, bash them. You look at what Bill Maher said about Muslims. I mean, it's this double standard, and I don't like the double standard. And I look at him as a Jew.
See, here's the thing, guys, is like, I absolutely like it is like Piers Morgan, dude. I mean, it is TMZ. Yeah, dude, this haircut is the worst fucking haircut I've ever seen. Bro, what the fuck, dude, is this haircut, dude? He went in and was like, give me the beaker. Dude, we are doomed. But so what's interesting about this is like the Islamophobia in America is rampant, okay? And it doesn't get nearly the attention that anti-Semitism does, right? And, all these crazy, like, Jewish conspiracy theories, the George Soros stuff, the global cabal, whatever they're always doing. But, like, I don't think the answer to Islamophobia is to run around being like, like dishing that out to like Jewish people. You know what I'm saying? I think the answer involves like fighting both of them, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like somebody could oppose, Randy Fine in a way that is not becoming like Randy Fine. I mean, I just don't think the whole, well, America's anti-Muslim, so now we're going to like go around and fucking trash everybody but the Muslims. I feel like you're doing the same shit. You know what I'm saying? All of this shit. Yeah, it is so off board. Because you know what it is it's literally like people are just looking for an excuse to be fueled by their bigotry, right? That's what it is. They want their bigotry to be able to be something they can take right out into the mainstream TV, and we're just tolerating it now, right? It's like, yeah, I'm going to answer your bigotry with my bigotry, and then we're going to answer their bigotry with our bigotry. And dude, all of that is taking us nowhere.
Jewish supremacist. He believes that, Jews are better than other people, and he puts Israel before America. And so
if you've got a black friend that you don't like, do you use the N-word on him?
No, I don't.
Well, then what's the difference when you use the word fat Jew for a Jew you don't like?
Well, is Jew the same as because that is not that's not, one is a slur, right?
Dude, and then he says the N-word right there. Dude. Bro, right? Like, this guy's running for Congress, dude. Guys, this is the new oh my God, dude. Like, dude, Liver King, this guy does have a little bit to do with Liver King. He does. He looks like the Liver King with like less brains.
And one is describing a religion. So you can't compare the two.
Really? There's a way.
How can you compare those two?
There's a way you say it, Dan, that the intent is the same. It's
not the same at all. Here.
So
one is a slur, one is a racial slur that I don't use, and the other one is describing.
You just used it.
Well, are we adults? Can we talk about a word?
Sure.
Was a word so offensive that that it just, you can't say it? We have to say
The answer to that is yes.
So I want to ask a question.
People are too sensitive.
Dude, people are too sensitive.
You called your opponent.
Dude, people are too sensitive. Yeah, guys. No, somebody said Trump started this. See this, guys, is like this is where the Overton window has moved from Trump. Okay? Trump has moved the Overton window here. Right? I mean, I feel like it started with Mitch McConnell during Obama's presidency. There was a big kick up, and it was Donald Trump too, doing the birther, Hussein, he's a terrorist, whatever. It was Trump was doing it on the outside, and then Mitch McConnell was like, I'm not going to let Obama do any legislation. We're going to obstruct everything. Okay? And then the Mitch McConnell had a long Confederate history. Okay. Then Trump comes in and he starts moving the Overton window with the locker room talk and the way, guys, you want to see something interesting? I give you a little homework. Tonight or tomorrow, go back and watch like 3 minutes of the Trump and Hillary debates. Any one of the debates, okay? Don't do it here where I can like illustrate it for you. Just go watch a Trump and Hillary debate. Watch 3 or 4 minutes of it and watch how Donald Trump talks to Hillary in 2016. Yes. Watch the way he talks to her and you'll see that there was an Overton window being moved where he would like disrespect her and put her down and just the way he spoke to her was like with an open nastiness like an abusive man does to a woman he's trying to control, and everybody just let it happen. Nobody brought up wow, that's really fucked up. Like, he shouldn't be talking to her that way, right? It was really bad. You know what I'm saying? And I had forgotten like how bad it was. And I recently went and watched some of that. And I was like, holy shit, dude. He was like being an abusive man right out in the open during the debates. And she was like trying to be, like professional and above it all. It was so dirty. It was so dirty, but he's been moving the Overton window on the way men can speak to women, the way women are thought of, the way, the type of shit that men will say openly, oh, it's just a word. Everybody's too sensitive, right? His constant refrains of calling everybody rapists and vermin and all that shit. It is like he has moved the Overton window of decency, okay? Of decency. And that's really kind of like, it's unfortunate, It's unfortunate. Will Trump have any Overton windows in his new ballroom? He will. Yeah. It's really unfortunate. Now, I did see somebody in the chat earlier that was saying something about Dan Bilzerian. Oh, he says the truth. But here's the deal, guys. Okay? When you are like a Dan Bilzerian, or if you are like a James Fishback, or you are an Andrew Tate, where you are an inflamer and you're using bigotry to fuel your message, you don't get credit for the little bits of truth in there, okay? Because that's what bigots do. That's what abusers do. That's what misogynists do. They bring a small amount of truth and they say, oh, I'm a truth teller. And they really just use that truth to open the door for all their bigotry. And no, you can bring the truth without the bigotry, okay? I bring truth every day, everywhere I go, and I bring it without bigotry. You don't need to have bigotry in order to bring truth. But people who want to, feed bigotry into the system, they bring nuggets of truth in order to oh yeah, he is telling the truth, so we're going to forget about all the other shit. But that's a gaslighting technique. Absolutely. That is an abuser 101 technique, to layer a little bit of truth, a little bit of emotional reality into the bigotry in order to try and sell it. Okay? It's like giving you a pill with truth, but really you turn the pill upside down and it's just all bigotry. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And it happened in the 30s. Zionists and Nazis worked together. Yeah, no, I mean, guys, I think it's like this shit is cyclical. Okay? I really do. Guys, you know about the 100 years, right? Right? How there's 100-year cycle. Okay? You know what I'm saying? 100-year cycle. 1860, 1960. What happened in 1865? Right? There was a civil war. What happened in 1964? There was the fucking Civil Rights Act. Okay? 1920. The Spanish flu. 2020. Fucking COVID pandemic. Well, guys, what year is it? 4 years from now. Right? Well, it's going to be 2030. What happened in the 1930s? Right? 1930s was the rise of Nazism and all that fucking shit. What are we seeing right now as we're coming into the 2030s? It's dude, the same shit. Potential market crash. It is like a cycle. We're just going through it again. We're going through the exact same fucking shit, And it is just cyclical, guys. And it really, that 100-year shit is kind of I don't know. It's really feels eerily accurate, eerily prescient that we have to because guys, when you think about it, I've talked about how all energy is in waves, right? Right? Energy is in these sine waves. If you think about a sine wave with 100-year intervals, that's kind of what we're on, where every 100 years we have to reconquer these old issues, these old problems, right? Every 100, 150 years or whatever, you go through. And but every generation you get smarter, you get more aware, you have more information that comes to play. And so you get a chance to conquer it in a better way, right? You get a chance to to heal the generational trauma and to sort of come out better than you did the time before. Okay. And there is some real fucking, right? There is some real shit. Yeah. 1917 and then 2019, right? It's all 100 year cycles. But dude, this shit is crazy. Okay? Dude, look at this person though, dude. Dude, you called him a senator. You don't even know which fucking office you're running for. Dude, it's true, boss. You know what I'm saying? It is true, dude. He is an idiot. There he is, bro. Oh my God. All right. Oh my God, dude. Now, this is fucking, it's going to be interesting, guys. Dude, Florida, let's look at Randy Fine's election results, shall we? Let's see how Randy Fine did. Okay? So in the special election, Randy Fine won 56 to 42, 110 to 83. In the primary, he beat, let's look at the primary. So in the primary, dude, he won 87% of the vote, right? Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, dude, that's wild. Like, I'm real curious to see what this shit looks like, right? I mean, Florida's a disaster, but if we look at the Florida 6th, where is the 6th? All right, let's see where the 6th is. So it is, oh, it's up by Jacksonville. All right. Oh, that is, yeah, dude, that's going to be interesting. I mean, have you guys been to Jacksonville? Dude, it's pretty hick. Dude, it is pretty scruffy, dude. It is like very, very scruffy. Dude, oh my God. It's the southern Jacksonville suburbs to Daytona Beach. So that's where Daytona is. Yes. Dude, it's just south of Jacksonville, the South Jacksonville suburbs, and then Daytona, dude. Dude, that is like, you know, it's like the deep suburbs, right? But then Daytona, where the fucking raceway is. Oh, man, dude. So, dude, I don't know. I feel like Bilzerian actually might have a chance. That is wild, right? Oh, fuck, dude. The shit is going down. Bro, they're finally banning first cousin marriages? Oh, my God, dude. Dude, what? You're in Southwest? Where are you at? Are you down by Fort Myers, by Naples? All the gamers lived in Naples. All the like gamers. I've never been to South Florida. I have been on tour. I played in Tallahassee and I played in Jacksonville. And so I have driven all the way across the Panhandle and up. And I've also driven through, I used to play in Dothan and I've driven up here through Atlanta and shit. So I've driven all the way through the Panhandle. And then we went to Disney World for a week. And so I've been to Orlando, right? But that was at Disney World. But I like the weather in Florida. I do. I like the heat. I love the heat. I don't mind the mugginess. Florida gets that afternoon rain. Those of you who've been there, like it'll be super hot and muggy. And then it'll rain for like an hour in the afternoon. And then it like chills out for a little bit. But I do like the weather. The fucking, you know, I have not been there though. I have not been in Florida since 2015. Jenny did go to school. She went to school down in Boca. Okay. Where's Boca? She went to school down by Palm Beach in Boca. So Jenny has fucking lived in South Florida. Somebody said they lived in Southwest. Where do you live? Where's a person in Southwest? Dude, I mean, the weather, I love the weather, but the state is pretty weird, bro. The state is pretty fucking weird. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗃? Where's 𝗙cie𝗶𝗃? Dude, I do want to go to Key West. I bet the sunsets and sunrises in Key West are pretty amazing. You lived in Hillsborough, south of Boca. All right. Del Rey, let's go. I had some good friends from Tampa. Okay, from Clearwater, actually, over here. Right? But, yeah, the Panhandle, though, is very, very different than the South. Okay? Oh, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗃 is by Orlando? Okay. Just got it. Oh, there it is. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗃, right on the water. Right, where's Disney? Disney World is somewhere fucking down here. Dude, Disney World was amazing. I loved it. Yeah, 𝗙𝗍𝗎 is right there. But the panhandle is like very different. Tallahassee was pretty cool, actually. I had a good time in Tallahassee. I didn't care for Jacksonville. Dude, I had a rough show in Jacksonville, boss. It was on Valentine's Day, and there's a club in Jacksonville called Jackrabbits that's like really well known. And I showed up and all the local bands had canceled. So there I was on Valentine's Day at a club in Jacksonville, and there was nobody. I mean, not one person in the club. There was the bartender, the sound guy, and the waitress. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to fucking do the show anyway. I'm on tour. I'll just fucking treat it as a rehearsal. I'll play for you guys since you're stuck here, right? You can't close and go home. And they're like, no. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to play. And so then I set up and I played to no one. And like first song in, a couple came in that were like, they were out and they didn't know what to do on Valentine's Day. They came in and they were like, oh my God. So I gave a show for 2 people and then I hung out with them all night. They were actually cool as hell, right? And they stayed there until close and they got fucking hammered. And then I drove to the Atlantic and went and hung out on the beach. The beach was really nice. But so it was pretty wild. I played anyway. They came in, they bought a bunch of t-shirts, they bought my CDs. They were like, oh my God. It turned out to be like, you know, I made a little bit of money and the show was not the worst financial thing in the world, but it was, you know, it was one of those, dude. Dude, rough, dude. When you get there and all the local bands cancel, you're kind of fucked, right? But yeah, man. Dude, crazy. So that's where we're at, guys. Okay? Dude, look at this. So people think he's going to win the primaries on August 18th. Okay? But like all of these people are coming in, right? All of these right-wing influencers are all like Stu Peters. They're all of these losers are supporting Dan Bilzerian. Okay? They're all supporting Bilzerian. Isn't that crazy? All of the fucking right-wingers are into this shit. Okay? Now, dude, you know what I'm saying? Now, one of the things, though, guys, that I hope comes from this is like, I don't understand. Here's what I don't understand, guys, is why is Randy Fine allowed to be so Islamophobic? Why are people in government, right? Like, why don't we treat Islamophobia with a little bit of right? Why don't we treat Islamophobia with some fucking, I get tired of that like the Islamophobic people in government can just rage with that shit. And like we look at anti-Semitism and are like, yeah, don't be anti-Semitic, but you can be Islamophobic as fuck, bro. And nobody will say anything. You know what I'm saying? Nobody will say anything, dude. It's like really problematic, you know? And I don't like that, dude. I do not like that shit. Okay? I do not like that shit. And you know, it's because, guys, I personally feel like the anti-Semitism and the Islamophobia are like the same thing. Okay? They're the same thing, just aimed at different groups. That's why people used to call Zohran Mamdani like, ooh, anti-Semitic. And I'm like, are you kidding me? He's dealt with Islamophobia his whole life. He knows what it's like to be on the receiving end of anti-Semitism as much as a fucking Jewish person does, right? Because he's been there. He's getting the same shit. It's just from a different angle. But like, you know, nobody knows what anti-Semitism is like more than a fucking Muslim. You know what I'm saying? Like, Muslims And Jews should be like buddies because they literally know what that shit is like. They're experiencing the same type of bigotry. Like, that's what's so frustrating to me is like, why aren't those two groups like best friends? Because they both experience a real similar bigotry, you know what I'm saying? And that fucking has always bothered me. And yeah, no, it has a lot to do with Christian nationalism because the Christian nationalists play them both off each other and they side up with the Jewish people to like, stir the Islamophobia and shit. Yeah. Well, the conservatives, though, hate everybody, right? They really do. Dude, they hate everybody. They do. Conservatives, they don't like anybody, dude. They don't even like each other, guys. Try being an indigenous Australian. No, I'm sure that's really hard. And somebody said try being Indian too. Like Indian people go through it a lot as well, right? But there we go, dude. The Red Pill Media team is endorsing Bilzerian. So what's crazy about this, though, guys, is this election. Let me just tell you right now. You remember what we went through in 2024 over Gaza? And what we're still kind of working through in the Democratic Party with AIPAC and shit, this election right here is about to set the tone for the Republican battle over Israel, which we know it's brewing, okay? It's brewing. We're going to watch in 1 minute here, we're going to watch Benny Johnson. We're going to watch Megyn Kelly. It is brewing, but this election's going to be ground zero. Okay, because like right now, Fishback is running against Byron Donaldson, Byron Donalds, but Fishback is like, he's a fucking, I don't know, dude. He doesn't have, he has no charisma, really, Fishback. He's like a creepy weirdo who dated like, a 16-year-old girl or some shit. So he's kind of a freaky America firster. But like Bilzerian, like really knows how to do. Bilzerian really knows how to fucking like work the social media, and he's gonna have all the influencers on his side, So this is gonna be like interesting to say the least. And yeah, dude, I do agree with what Tree Hugger said. That really it is the white supremacy, isn't it? Because the white Christian nationalists, like most of the Jewish people are white passing, okay? And so like a lot of the Jewish like people can still do white passing. So white supremacy like lets them in a little bit, and it doesn't do that with the brown, the people of color, right? It's very true. That's very true. Good point, Tree Hugger. It's true. Yeah, because they're European, absolutely. Right. And you're right. Yeah, no, they're European. Absolutely. But dude, it's so crazy. But Bilzerian though, okay? Dude, Bilzerian is like, he knows how to work social media, guys, and you can see he's getting all of the fucking help. Okay, all of the help from all of the right-wing influencers. Every single one. Now, Trump, though, Trump is going to endorse Randy Fine, right? I don't think Trump is going to endorse Dan Bilzerian, or will he? Will Trump endorse Dan Bilzerian to try to, win young people again? Because I know the young people are going to support Dan Bilzerian, the young Republicans. I think they're going to support him because a lot of the young Republicans are tired of Israel too. Would Trump drop his support of Randy Fine? I mean, Trump's in a hot seat because Miriam Adelson wants Trump back and Randy Fine. And Trump, though, doesn't want to lose the midterms. He wants that youth vote. I mean, I think Trump's going to endorse Randy Fine because Miriam Adelson has deep fucking pockets she has way more money than Dan Bilzerian. Like Dan Bilzerian didn't like Trump in 2016, really. He's always like, I mean, if anything, he was like a secondary supporter. So yeah, dude, right? Oh shit, bro. That is only in Florida. And look at Laura Loomer. Okay, Laura Loomer says Trump hater and pro-Islam dual citizen Dan Bilzerian has just filed a run for Congress in Florida's 6th district against Randy Fine. Anthony Sabatini's law firm address is listed on Bilzerian's statement of candidacy form. I blurred the address as it appears to be a home address, but it's the same address in Mount Dora, Florida. It appears they even spelled the name Mount Dora wrong, showing Sabatini doesn't pay attention to detail. If Florida, dude, she's attacking the fact that they misspelled the city. Dude, it's so funny. And she says, I remember when I ran for Congress in Florida where Anthony lives, he begged Trump for an endorsement, and now he's helping the campaign of Trump hater Dan Bilzerian, who just called for the 25th against Trump. Dude, this shit is like popcorn, guys. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. I'm getting a prop. Dude. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What I'm talking about. Dude. MAGA v. MAGA. Let's fucking go. Oh, oh, Bilzerian. Oh, I just shit my diaper. Let's go. Always have the popcorn ready to go. I do. Because you know what we do, guys? So we have the Regal Unlimited. And then I also have this thing that gives me like discounts on popcorn. But they give you a refill. So what we do is we refill the popcorn on our way out of the theater. And then all week we have a big thing of popcorn to just snack on. We leave it on the kitchen table. And we just snack on it like all week long, right? It's pretty nice, actually. It's a little low-calorie snack, you know, and makes you think about the movie you just saw. You know, it allows you to keep up with politics. Oh, yeah. Oh, tell me more, Laura Loomer. Ah, yes. What movie did we see last? The last movie we saw was Project Hail Mary. Oh my God, dude. It was so good, dude. The one with Ryan Gosling. That movie was so good. So good. Oh, shit, dude. Highly, highly recommend, right? You know, the one movie that I missed that I was really bummed was we missed The Bride. It came in and out of the theater really fast. We're going to have to go see it at like one of the craft theaters because it came in and out fast. So did Melania. I wanted to go see Melania, but they didn't have it anywhere near the city. It was only in the very far suburb theaters, and it was like in and out, like 2 weeks, dude. Yeah, the Galaxy movie, we're going to go see that. New movies sucks. Dude, I love seeing the movies. Dude, we go like at least once a week, right? We do. Now I have popcorn, though, on the brain. I got to go put this back in the living room or I'm going to just eat it all night. Hold on. Yeah, well, see, the reason why I wanted to see Melania was because I just wanted to see it in an empty theater, and I wanted to film the empty theater, and you know, that's why I wanted to go see it. I also heard the movie was pretty good. Or, I mean, not the movie, the music. The music, I think, was actually pretty good. I'll watch it on the streamer, I guess. But, dude, I just love seeing movies in movie theaters. I really do. As a kid, like, I spent a lot of time at the drive-in. Oh my God, I used to go to the drive-in all the time, right? How bad was it? I didn't see Melania, so I don't know. It fucking came and went too fast. Your husband watched 7 minutes and turned it off. See, I'll choke the whole thing down, but the music, you know, I heard the music was pretty good. I mean, I'm sure the movie is just trash, dude. But I grew up, like, in Wisconsin, there was a drive-in theater that I had older brothers and sisters who used to go to the drive-in theater all the time, and I would go with them. Like, I would work on my dad to help them get the car, and then in exchange, they would take me and just give me money and let me roam free. So I used to just go to the concessions, and back in that day, there was always a group of young people that would go to the drive-in, and you would go with your older brothers and sisters, but they all wanted to make out with their fucking boyfriends and girlfriends. So we had nothing to do, and we had money, and so we'd get snow cones and fucking cotton candy and popcorn and just roam around the fucking drive-in, like, just being up to no good, pretty much. That was like a huge chunk of my childhood from like first grade on. That was pretty much like, here's money, go have fun. And I was like, all right. You know, I mean, I'm lucky that like they weren't like kidnapping kids and shit at drive-ins. But like, dude, yeah, we used to do that all the time. Like, I used to go like every week. Dude, it was fun, man. When you're younger, there's just a huge collection of cars and people, and like, I don't know, it's pretty cool. All the kids would roam around. They had like picnic tables and shit. Melania was amazing, dude. Yeah, I think we have a fucking troll, dude. Right? Let's go. Let's go. Oh, shit. Did a drive-in have a small playground? I don't remember. I don't remember a playground. It may have. There's still two around 40 miles away. I think there's one somewhere in Oregon near Portland. But the movie Malaria. All right, you ready? So now we got Dan Bilzerian versus Randy Fine, which is going to be fucking wild, to say the least. Okay? You know what I'm saying? It is going to be fucking... It's going to be interesting to see what happens with this race, guys. All right? It is going to be interesting. You know? And you can see, though, even though Dan Bilzerian hates Donald Trump, you can see how he's using the Donald Trump technique to try to appeal to the young fucking young bigots. Malaria Trump. But yeah, dude, he's getting all of the right-wing support. So now, guys, what we got to look at is we got to look at Megyn Kelly. Okay? This is crazy. Okay? Because, guys, like I said, okay? Like I said, we already watched the TMZ interview, boss. All right? We watched a chunk of it. So, one of the things, guys, that, like I said, that is happening in Florida, ground zero, baby, is the Republican MAGA versus America First Israel rift. Okay? And now look at what you have on Piers Morgan. Okay? Every other president was able to see through that liar. Megyn Kelly slams Trump for buying into Netanyahu and Israel's push for the Iran war. So once again, all of the Trumpies are like trying to give Trump an out. Okay, they're rallying around. But here's what's interesting, guys, is there, you have Megyn Kelly, and we're going to see Benny Johnson doing the same thing. They're basically giving Trump an out. They're giving him an off-ramp saying, oh, Netanyahu lied to him. Netanyahu, like, talked him into this shit. Which, dude, Netanyahu is part of the Kushner family. It's part of Trump's inner circle. I mean, Trump is in with Netanyahu and Miriam Adelson. Trump is a huge Zionist. Okay? He's always been a huge Zionist. He's taken like $250 million from the Israel lobby. Okay? But here's the thing that's interesting is by Megyn Kelly and Benny Johnson sort of ganging up on Netanyahu and trying to alleviate Trump from responsibility. Sakata! Dude, base notes! Let's go! Dude, let's go. We got some Paula White coming in. Hold on. There we go. Let's go. Sakata. Hey! Sakatara! Dude, let's go, Paula! All right, dude, somebody said goal too. Dude, we'll hit it up. We'll do the goal. But I think there's a little ancillary benefit here, guys. Okay, that we have not looked at, where we have two events happening. Okay, we have two events happening in MAGA that are like helping to exacerbate each other. So you have Benny Johnson and Megyn Kelly. They're kind of like leaning toward the America First movement. Okay. Trump's power is waning. He is coming down. Trump's power, the people behind him are all the Zionists and the Heritage Foundation and Laura Loomer and all those staunch people. However, with Megyn Kelly and Benny Johnson trying to give Trump an off-ramp, it's Netanyahu's fault. They're feeding the deep America Firsters like Fishback and Fuentes and right, the real anti-Semite, like crazy, George Soros cabal kind of people. They're being fed by their little off-ramp, okay? And so, like, they're making that rift wider, right? And you saw her and Ben Shapiro fought over Candace Owens. So now there is a major Israel rift. Like the right wing, the Republican Party has always been Israel first, like always, because they're all like evangelical Christians and they're using Israel. They don't really care about Israel. They don't care about Israel or the Jewish people at all. They just use them to try and start the world war and the rapture. Okay, that's it. Dude, Ringo, let's go. Dude, dance party coming up. Dude, Ella, thank you, boss. Pine Box Dance Party, LFG. But they have always been like hugely, like pro-Israel first. So yeah, dude, this is crazy. Megyn Kelly calling out Trump. Now, this is weird, guys, because Megyn Kelly is being a little schizophrenic, okay? And what do I mean by that? Because we literally had Megyn Kelly just not that long ago, okay? Let me find the thing. Let me find it. I can search. Okay, she had this. It was this one. Okay, this is literally just 2 days ago.
Honestly, Trump could drop a nuke and I'd still vote Republican over those people because
You're
they want
a Fifth Avenue voter.
In some ways, I really am. But honestly, what they want to do is nuke our own country. It's like the open border, what they're doing to children, all that stuff is still they would do it all if put back in power. And
the border's never been open, and no one's done anything to Megan's children. What they're doing to our children, dude, such an idiot.
I think most Republicans know that, which is honestly.
All right, so she said Trump could drop a nuke and she'd still vote Republican. Okay, so Trump he can push the nuke button. She didn't care, dude. Dude, what is that outfit, bro? Dude, doesn't she look like does she have an OnlyFans on the side or what? Dude, this outfit is so like Joan Jett on fucking, like what is she doing? She's wearing a leather flight suit, dude. I kind of like it, actually. The outfit, not Megyn. Megyn is like, please cover her. But the outfit is actually, I kind of like the fucking shirt, dude. It looks pretty hip, dude. But all right, so watch her though. Watch her today, dude. You ready? Here we go.
Trump watched us learn it. And so what led Trump, at 79 years old, to sit in there in that situation room when Bibi Netanyahu was seated as an equal?
Yeah.
Trump didn't even sit at the head of the table. Trump sat at the side of the table, and Bibi was across from him as an equal in the American Situation Room. What led him to sit there and buy what that guy was selling hook, line, and sinker when every other president was able to see through that liar?
Well, I'll give you a hint, Megyn. They gave him like $250 million, Megyn. That's why he's beholden, okay? They gave him $250 million, and they're going to give him a nice Trump hotel in Gaza on the beach, okay? She does look mad, dude. Shin Godzilla, LFG. Dance the night away. All right, here we go. Come on, Megyn. Here we go. Come on.
What was it? Because he was told the next day by our own top advisors, from the chairman of the Joint Chiefs to the Secretary of State to the vice president, that these are lies and that these objectives are not going to be attainable. Don't believe him. We might be able to wipe out the Ayatollah, not regime change, Ayatollah. And we might be able to decimate some portion of their missiles and their military. Okay, that's true. But the goals, as stated by Trump when we actually did pull the trigger, were all over the board. And to this moment, he's pushing the BS claim that we affected regime change. No, we didn't. It's the same regime, just different players. There isn't somebody more moderate in there at all. We have no reason to believe that. In fact, it looks like the Iranian Revolutionary Guard is in control now, which is far more radical. And the fatwa that had allegedly been issued by the Ayatollah on developing nukes is gone. Iran is more powerful economically. It controls the strait.
Yep, and they are flush with cash. They are. Iran is flush with cash. Like they're literally, I swear to you, no joke. We are looking at a situation where Trump bombed the shit out of Iran, and I think Iran literally is coming out of it better than when they went in, dude. Like, I shit you not. I mean, they're going to have a period of having to repair a bunch of damage, but it's almost like they allowed themselves to get knocked around in a boxing ring for 15 rounds for a massive fucking payday and a huge, huge benefit, where all they had to do was stand in there and fight for a while, and it's literally just gonna be a huge payday, dude. Huge. Like, it is the stupidest thing I've ever seen an American military leader do, where they're probably gonna have like nuclear, they're gonna have enriched uranium faster and on our dime, essentially, dude. Insane, bro. It is absolutely insane. Stupidest thing ever.
And now is demanding the lifting of all sanctions against it. And what Trump did with that 10-point plan was go from Monday saying, no, not good, to Tuesday saying, very workable, we can do it, as a means of saving face to bail off of his insane threats about annihilating an entire civilization. So I don't know how we got here, Piers. I'd like to know just as much as anybody else, but all I can think in my head, based on what I've read in the paper, is we got here thanks to Bibi Netanyahu, Lindsey Graham, and Mark Levin.
Dude, isn't that funny? Bibi Netanyahu, Lindsey Graham, and Mark Levin. No, you ready for this, Megyn? You ready? You got here because you voted for a fucking psychopath, okay, who was desperate to stay out of jail after he committed a bunch of crimes, and he's a fucking degenerate, and he was a liar who lied about the election for years, and he took $250 million from the Israeli lobby. He took $300 million from Elon Musk, made a bunch of investigations go away. Bibi Netanyahu probably has some videotapes of Trump doing the hokey pokey with some people that would put him in prison for a long fucking time. And you voted for that shit. You, Megyn Kelly, you were dumb enough to vote for that shit because you believe something about like litter boxes being in the school, or that people were going to cut your kids' fucking genitals off, or all that shit because you spend too much time on Facebook during the goddamn pandemic. Okay? You voted for that. So that's how we got here. Okay? Do not blame it on Mark Levin and Lindsey Graham and fucking Bibi Netanyahu. Okay? You should look in the mirror and be like, holy fucking shit, I voted for this rat's nest. Dude, I voted for this Epstein grapist, grab him by the pee motherfuckers. Right? Like, dude, the brain dead. I mean, come on. Right? Yeah, dude, they all wanted Trump because of their weird transgender hysteria and their immigrant / transgender hysteria. They all sold their souls to the fucking Epstein devil, all right, because of trans immigration hysteria. And now they're all eating a shit sandwich and they want to blame everyone but themselves. Dude, 𝗙cie, let's go. Love you folks. Big hugs for all. I'm off to bed. Good night. Thank you, 𝗙cie. We'll see you again soon. Sleep well.
And ultimately, President Trump, that's not to take agency away from the president, who was bamboozled. I don't know why. He was too weak to say no. He was too gullible to see through the lies. One way or another, he allowed himself to be pushed into this insane conflict.
Oh, Megyn, I was bamboozled. Oh, I've got some bamboozle in my diaper, Megyn. Why don't you come over and help me sort it out? Oh, dude, Ella, let's go. Dude, she's like, I don't want to take away the president's agency, but he was bamboozled. All right. Thank you, Megyn. Thank you for giving us a real master class in how to, about agency, both your own and the president. Dude, give me a fucking break, dude. Dude, I don't know what it is, guys, but like every Republican, dude, Trump would say schlonged. He would, dude, he would. Dude, every Republican it's like they're allergic to like taking responsibility. And I mean, isn't that weird? Like, follow me for a sec here, because every Republican preaches about the bootstraps and about you got to make it on your own. You got to buck up, no help from anybody. You got to be independent, right? You got to do it all on your own. And then all they do is like no sense of personal responsibility, whatsoever, right? They never take responsibility for their own actions. And the whole time they're telling you that all your problems are because you're not doing enough. But by the way, all my problems are not because of me. They're because of all of you, right? Dude, they're so fucked up. But dude, look at this shit. Look at this. This person says, Gina Milan says, Obama gave billions to Iran, okay? And it's like, dude, Trump, he just gave like $500 billion to Iran. Over the next 5 years, Iran's going to be making like $250 million a day with the Strait of Hormuz, okay? Like what was given from, when Obama gave Iran their money back, dude, Trump has given them like 500 times that, okay? Dude, isn't it crazy? They're like, people are freaking out. But now, guys, you ready? We got to switch gears. I know Obama gave Iran their own money back, okay? Obama gave Iran their own money. It was frozen assets. Okay. And then they gave them back their own money. And didn't it go in like, it was like in an account in like Oman or something, wasn't it? It was not even in Iran. It was like in another like Middle Eastern bank that had to be disbursed in a certain way, right? You know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing was fucking, you know, like very above board. Trump shites his pants and MAGA takes a whiff. They don't have boots. How you pull yourself up by the bootstrap when you don't have boots? Make Iran Georgia? All right, let's go. Dude, thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. But yeah, dude, they gave Iran their own money back. But dude, Trump is giving Iran like $250 million a day, guys. Make Iran great again. Got it. Okay. Got you. Thank you, MAGA. Thank you, Mark. I got it now. Thank you guys for straightening me out. I'm kind of a boomer. I was like, make Iran Georgia? No, make Iran great. Dude, boomer, MAGA. Okay. Now, guys, before we watch Benny Johnson, okay, we're going to watch Benny Johnson. Okay, we got Benny Johnson is in on this too. Benny Johnson is also doing the give Trump an off-ramp by making it Netanyahu's fault. But before we watch Benny Johnson, we have to look at this, guys, because this is insane. So Secretary Kennedy made a big announcement today, guys, that he is starting a podcast. Oh, I'm starting a podcast. Oh. Dude, the guy who you can't stand to listen to for like more than 30 seconds is now starting a podcast. Oh, I know it sounds like gurgling razor blades, but we're going to have a podcast. Oh, come here. Hey, you're going to get like 2 hours of me. Dude, the radio voice of the century, dude. Y'all better get your dance party night for reals. Thank you, 𝗙cie. We'll get it. We'll get it. Well, guys, isn't that crazy? Like what I said here, guys. Look at this shit. I said, there's really no other way to describe it. But I said, for your listening pleasure, dude, for your listening pleasure. All right, let's look at the announcement. Here we go, guys. You ready? Look at this shit.
For decades now, Americans have been told that we should trust the system, but our children are sicker, chronic diseases exploding, and the answers that we've been given aren't working. Many of us have come to the conclusion that government actually lies to us. I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr., your HHS secretary. This podcast is about telling the truth, especially when it's uncomfortable. I'm going to have fearless conversations with critical thinkers, including independent doctors, respected scientists, and leaders in medical innovation and research. I'm going to ask the questions and lift the taboos and expose the hypocrisy and the conflicts and the corruption.
Dude, nobody wants to listen to you talk! Dude!
We're going to follow the...
Dude, it's been 40 seconds, and I just can't even do it, bro.
Wherever it leads. And we're going to name the names of the forces that obstruct the path to public health. This isn't going to be about politics. It's about our families, it's about our children, and it's about confronting the spiritual malaise and embracing the truth. If we want a healthy nation, we have to confront...
Dude, the camera's just like pulling back, pushing forward, pulling back, pushing forward.
Radical transparency in government here at HHS. I hope you'll join us in our mission to make America healthy again.
Oh, God, dude. But guys, dude, yeah, the music in the background, it's all serious. Like, it's like the X-Files or whatever music in the background. But dude, look at his head. How the whole time his head looks like an alien being. Dude, did you see what I said to him? Look at this, dude. I said your fucking head looks like a hunk of beef jerky that has been dried in a nuclear reactor. Dude, it's so true. Tell me that's not true. Dude, tell me that is not true, dude. That is very specific. It is quite specific, but it's so true. Dude, Mark said, make polio great again. Larry David was right. Bill Maher is a chode, and RFK Jr. is a tool. Make polio great again. Take methylene blue great again. Let's go, dude. Thank you, Mark. Dude, isn't that funny? Dude, but it's true, dude. Dude, a hunk of beef dried in a nuclear reactor, bro. Nobody. And guys, I mean nobody. I believe me when I say this. Nobody wants to listen to a podcast of this guy talking. Like, bro, like who? Who is going to listen to his voice for an hour? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just don't. There's no way, dude. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, bro. Isn't that crazy? Dude, eat your nuclear leather meat. Dude, I mean, literally 30 seconds into that like this fucking ad, my mind was like broken, dude. I was like, oh. Dude, can you imagine him and Trump? He's like, oh, Trump, I love you so much. And Trump's like, oh, RFK, change my diaper. Oh, okay, where do you have the diapers? Oh, they're in the cabinet. Dude, oh, shit. Dude, let's go. Dude, base notes. With the 5 memberships. Welcome to the new memberships. Welcome to the new members. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Hey! Sakata. Dude, what a crazy fucking... Dude, these people are just crazy, dude. Right? Like, I snapped a fucking photo of just his head, bro. Dude, doesn't it look like AI? It looks like they AI'd his head on top of his fucking body. All right, guys, we got 8 minutes. We need 21 and 8. Okay? Dude, on this, let's go 21 and 8. Let's get this. We're going to get this dance party secured. And then we're going to go on. We got to watch Benny Johnson, dude, because Benny Johnson is on the warpath. Okay, dude, Benny Johnson is like part of that MAGA split. We have the MAGA split. We got the Bilzerian versus Randy Fine, which is the America Firsters versus Trump MAGA. And then you have Megyn Kelly and Benny Johnson are now blaming Netanyahu for Trump's shit, which is kind of like inflaming the America Firsters. Everybody in MAGA is warring, and it is delicious, dude. Oh, it is delicious. Dude, Paula's the best. Dude, we love Paula. Speaking of balloons, I wonder how Kristi Noem is doing. Dude, I wonder how Kristi Noem is doing, too. I think she's in South America with Corey Lewandowski, just boning the shit out of her chief of staff, dude. Right? That's what I think she's doing. Trump took the jet and gave it to Melania. I believe Kristi Noem's $70 million jet has been given to Melania. And I think Kristi Noem is down in South America just banging her concubine. Okay, dude, Vincent, let's go, baby. Appreciate you, boss. All right, guys, we're 1/3 of the way there. We got 7 minutes. Let's hit it up. 1/3 of the way to dance party. We got this. We got it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. Dude, she is meat riding, is essentially, that's what Kristi Noem is doing. Meat riding. Let's go. Hi ho, hi ho. Get on top of Corey we go. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. It's off to bed we go. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. Dude, she's got a team of like elves following her around. Dude, let's go. It is, yes, it is very sick to think about. I heard her and Corey Lewandowski have a hotel room that's filled with balloon animals, guys. Dude, Mark, let's go, baby. Dude, living color, the cult of personality like Kennedy and Gandhi. The Leatherface Gooner is Pam Bondi's valet. Missy Hyatt Hotels. I'm Kristi Knows. Let's go. Dude, let's go. I hear that their hotel room is decorated with balloon animals in honor of Kristi's husband. Okay? Dude, that is what I'm hearing. Right? Word on the street is they like to do it with balloon animals. Right? Let's go, guys. All right, here we are. We're 19 away, guys. 5 minutes. 5 minutes, everybody. 5 minutes to secure the dance party. Let's go. 19 away. 19 away. Dude, 18 away. Korg, thanks for minimizing the radioactive potato head. Yes. Dude, I had to get rid of the hunk of beef jerky. Dude, lovely panacea. Let's go. Dude, let's go. Fist bump. We got you. Dude, the one. Are they dead blue animals? They might be. Dude, I'm not sure what animals they have. You know, I hear that they're voluptuous balloon animals. All right, 4 minutes and 50 seconds. 17 away, baby. 17 away. Woo! Woo! We got this. Hi ho. Hi ho. C-Punk. Let's go 16 away. It's off to bed we go. Dude, we used to sing that song actually in college about the 𝗙𝗍𝗪megas. 𝗙𝗍, it's off to bed we go. Dun, 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 dun. Dude, they were partiers. Dude, good times. Good times in the college days. Dude, it was so uncomplicated in the late 80s, early 90s. We were still benefiting a little of that 70s, free love and white powders fucking adventures, right? It is infinitely, you know what I mean? I mean, it was like, what was amazing about it was we weren't, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of coming of age happened around then, but we were a little bit insulated from, social media's really made things crazy, dude. Oh, hey, NSA, let's go. All right, guys, 3 minutes. We're halfway there. Like, when I look at my sons growing up, dude, MJ, let's go. They had so much access to information that, like, they had, like, a stress and an anxiety that we didn't have. Okay, we grew up without this added layer of anxiety. Best show ever, let's dance, right? And like my son grew up with an extra, like just like a blanket of anxiety that all of them were dealing with, because of social media and it being brand new and kind of the Wild West. Oh, hey, NSA, let's go. Dude, Redbone, best show ever, let's dance, let's go. And like, and it's interesting because in between my generation and Bryce's generation was Jenny's generation, who grew up in the 90s, like they were younger in the 90s, middle school and all that in the 90s. And they had like a rage, okay? It's like we had, this weird ignorance is bliss. Then Jenny's group had the rage, and then Bryce's group has the anxiety. And I'm like, dude, what is Gen Alpha gonna have, right? Because we were just sort of like Gen X. We were just kind of dumb and you know, we were sort of ignorant. You know, we didn't have a lot of information. We had a lot of drugs and a lot of parties, and we fought for civil rights, and we rebelled, and all the rock stars were fighting for us. And it was like kind of cool and aggressive and awesome. Dude, 1.5 minutes, guys. Holy shit, we need 12 more, dude. This is it. 1:30. Oh, fuck, dude. It's go time, baby. Right? And dude, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Like Gen Alpha, like what are they going to grow up with? 1 minute. Oh, fuck, boss. Dun, 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 dun. Dude, C-Punk, let's go. All right. 11 remain. Let's go. 10 remain. Here we go, dude, MJ. All right, 10 away, dude. 1 minute. Here we go. Oh, my God. We're cranking. We're going crazy. We're going fucking ape shit. 50 seconds. Oh, shit, dude. 9 away, dude. Oh, ANSA. Let's go. 45 seconds. Oh, my God. Dude, 8 away. 7 away, dude. Mark says, let's dance. David Bowie, put on your red shoes and dance the blues. We had earning $6 in a restaurant. Dude, and able to pay the rent and the car insurance, utilities, go see a rock show. Let's dance. Dude, Shin Godzilla, let's go. Dude, 23 seconds. 7 away. Oh my God. Here we go. Dude, I like that. Dude, the let's dance. 6 away, Pine Box. Now for the culture. Let's go, Redbone. Oh my God, dude, 10 seconds. Here it comes. Dude, 6 away, 5 away. Dude, MJ, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, dude, almost. Let's go, dude. Ella. All right, 27. We're 3 away. We're going to go 1 extra minute. No. We're going to go 1 extra minute. We're going to break out the 60-second clock, dude. We're only 3 away, dude. We're 1 away. We don't even need it, dude. We got C-Punk. Let's go. We got Gen Xer. Happy birthday to your oldest granddaughter. Yes, happy birthday. And 1 more. Next one secures it. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. There it is. MJ, let's go. Oh. Wait. Hold on. Sakatara. Sakatara. Dude, nobody sakatara like Paula does. Dude, it is happening. Dude, dance party has been secured. Right? Dude, look at that. Dude, is exploding, bro. Dude, that is some funny shit, bro. I'm gonna have to fucking do that. And fucking, dude, is exploding. Dude, Mark, let's dance. David Bowie, let's go, baby. Let's go. Oh, thank you, Mark. Dude, shit is crazy. All right, bye-bye. Bye-bye, RFK Jr. Okay? Bye-bye. But now, dude, Benny Johnson. Okay? Look at this, dude. Guys, this is crazy. Again, there is like, you know, their MAGA is splintering around the Israel issue, which is really, really crazy because MAGA is deeply Christian and most of these Christians are like heavy duty, like pro-Israel Zionist freaks. And now you have people like Benny Johnson coming in and he's saying he is declaring he has proof. Okay, he's using that New York Times article. Okay, this one. This article that came out 2 days ago. Okay, that is about Trump weighing his instincts against the deep concerns of his vice president and a pessimistic intelligence assessment. Okay. And so there's a lot in here about this. right? The black SUV carrying Benjamin Netanyahu arrived at the White House just before 11 a.m. on February 11th, okay? The Israeli leader pressing for months for the U.S. to agree to a major assault on Iran, okay? And now, dude, Israel gave Trump hundreds of millions of dollars, the Israel influences, and I guarantee you guys, they have the videotape, okay? If you look at Donald Trump's behavior, we can only assume that Netanyahu and Vladimir Putin both have some type of like life-ending compromat on this fucking guy, okay? Because Trump is like detonating NATO. He's gutting the European allies. He's removing the U.S. to like open up Europe to Vladimir Putin. He has taken Putin's side in Ukraine the entire time, even though Ukraine is kicking their ass. And he is letting Israel run roughshod over him. So I mean, I think there's some Epstein tapes and there's some Russian whatever, you know, SA tapes or something. They own him, okay? They own him the same way that Trump owns Matt Gaetz and some of these other slobs, okay? They are deeply against Europe. And yeah, dude, J.D. Vance was campaigning for Viktor Orban like, yo, dude, the vice president of the United States is literally campaigning for a Putin dictator, right, in Hungary. Dude, what the fuck are we doing, bro? Like, where are we, guys? This is an alternate timeline, okay? Right? Oh, shit, boss. All right, you ready? All right, here we go. Here's Benny, though. Watch this, dude. Benny is fucking...
So. Honestly, it's about time to hear this story reported. Much has been made about Israel.
Much has been made.
Their effects on President lied to Trump again and again.
All right, here we go.
The government lies to the president that were called bullshit. Stenographers and stalkers of President Trump at the New York Times directly from the White House, Bibi Netanyahu's lies to the president that were called bullshit by his own cabinet, that were called farcical by the CIA. And nonetheless, the Israeli government went to the White House and lied to Trump again and again. Trump decided to act on Iran anyway, and this story proves exactly why. You can agree or disagree, but it's the way that it happened all the way.
See, you know what's great about this, guys? Right? You know what I mean? What's amazing about this, guys, is how, like, dude, Benny is using the New York Times, right, the fake news, as the basis for his story about, again, to absolve Trump of any responsibility, mind you, right? But it's like he's using the New York Times to defend his point, guys. Want to hear you sing in your own voice? Like the Ramones saying, I want to be sedated or fear be Polona on SNL. Dude, you hear me at the beginning of every stream, boss, right? I sing for the first couple of minutes when I first come in on every stream. So you can go check it out. You can go listen to it right now at the beginning of the stream. Isn't it crazy? I mean, guys, they're defecting a little bit. I mean, you may have noticed that Benny is still, right? He's still like defending Trump, right? He's shifting the blame to Netanyahu, but he's gruntled, okay? If you look at Benny Johnson, he is fucking gruntled, guys. He is. It started with the thing we watched yesterday with him, you know, crying about like the Easter stuff and how they're not fixing the potholes on his street. They're fixing potholes or creating potholes in the Middle East. They are fucking gruntled. No, I know the word is disgruntled, but I think they're gruntled. I'm using gruntled because they are a special sort of like flabbergasted, flustered, where they can't blame Trump but they can't like not blame Trump. Okay, right? You know what I mean? And hold on, let me take care of this first because Sticky Nug says, got paid for my new job. Can I get a Paula White? Yes. Sakatara. Let's go, Sakata. All right, so now the reason why I'm using gruntled, you ready? Is because they can't blame Trump, okay? Because of the cult of personality, like Trump contract, and he's like feeding them all. But they can't not blame Trump because they can't pretend the country's doing great because we're not. Okay, dude, ground beef is like $15. It costs $150 to fill your gas tank. Energy bills have doubled. The economy's in the shitter. There's no fucking jobs, right? So they can't like pretend like everything is great and they can't blame Trump. So they're kind of like, oh shit, what do we do? Oh, Benny, oh, change my diaper, Benny. He's like, is Barron gonna be there? Dude, Benny will change the diaper, but only if Barron is going to help him lend a hand, right? Jesus, Benny. Oh, dude, Benny. Benny, stay away from Barron, Benny. Okay, we've heard about you and the TPUSA boys. Stay away from Barron, all right? I do not want to see your hand on Barron's leg, Benny. If I do, there's going to be hell to pay. That is some Jeffrey Epstein shit going on. Dude. Oh, shit. Dude, yeah.
Down to the detail of where people were sitting in the room when Bibi Netanyahu gave his bullshit presentation. And I just want to start by saying, you know, if your buddy continually lied to you and it was to your detriment and got you into boondoggles that cost you a lot and had very little upside, you know, would they be your greatest ally?
See, you know what's so funny though, guys? You see Benny there, right? Benny's having a heartfelt moment about like if your buddy lied to you. But like, guys, these fuckers, they voted for Trump, dude. Like all Trump has done is fucking lie to these idiots. Dude, he lied about the election for years. He's lied about everything he's done when he hasn't done anything. He is like the lyingest, yes, the lyingest of the liars is like their buddy. And they're like, oh yeah, if your buddy like lied to you and it cost you and it was to your detriment. And it's like, Benny, how much did it cost to fill up your gas tank, buddy? Buddy, how much your power bill, bro? Like, did it get cut in 50%? No, it did not. Like, Trump is like the biggest liar of them all. And they're like, oh, yeah, now he's giving us a spiel about lying. Oh, your buddy lied to you? Oh, Benny. Oh, shit. No, not a liar. Oh, I wonder what it's like to fucking be friends with a liar, Benny. Dude. Oh, shit. Let's go.
And this is something that we need to start asking questions about, like, what is the world order?
Yeah.
You know, these are questions that are...
What is a liar, Benny? That's going to be the next one. What is a liar? Dude, microdosing hellfire by living in the USA. Let's go, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗃𝗄𝗅. Dude, that's going to be the new one, right? For Benny and the MAGAs. What is a liar? What is a liar? Ponder.
Being asked of NATO, you know, what have you done for me lately? Is like El Salvador a better ally to the United States than England or France? You know, Spain wouldn't even let us fly over their country in order to deliver aid to Americans who were trapped behind enemy lines.
Yeah, it's because we're being assholes, Benny, because we've threatened Canada and Mexico, Greenland, Denmark, right? We're not supporting Ukraine. We're like doing Putin's bidding. Why would Spain help us? Oh, yeah, you threatened. J.D. Vance goes to Europe and says, you guys are all assholes. And just 2 days ago, J.D. Vance is like, the bureaucrats in Brussels, say no to them and vote for Putin's good buddy, Viktor Orban. Oh, come on, Trumpy. Dude, what a fucking dildo, dude.
Are they a great ally? No.
Oh.
And so in a world that's constantly changing, and right now changing dramatically and drastically, you need to be locked in with people who, at the very least, give you good information. And that's not what happened with Bibi Netanyahu, according to this New York Times article. Again, so detailed, in fact, that they talk about exactly where people sat in the room. So presumably, this is information that's being given directly from the White House to the New York Times in order to detail what happened. So what happened is that Bibi Netanyahu went to go brief President Trump and his cabinet at a highly classified presentation in the Situation Room about bombing Iran. Behind the screens.
All right, blah. So Benny is fucking boring as shit, okay? Because basically, in a nutshell, what this article is about is Benjamin Netanyahu, they're saying, gave Trump bad intel. And the CIA was skeptical of the intel, and Trump called the strike anyway. Now, we know that Trump is just a huge Zionist. Miriam Adelson, Benny Netanyahu, right? Benny Netanyahu is with Charlie fucking Kushner. He was sleeping in Jared's bed. Jared is all in on this. The Netanyahus are like part of the Trump family, okay? And you know, but MAGA is like, they got to blame somebody. They can't blame Trump. So they're going to try to blame Netanyahu. And frankly, you know, I don't think Trump even cares about that. And because Netanyahu doesn't care. He's a fucking war criminal, dude. He doesn't care if the whole world hates him. Like, what a fucking prick, dude. So yeah, it is never Trumpy's fault. But what I think is powerful about this, guys, is the fact that MAGA is splitting, okay? Because the America Firsters are vehemently anti-Israel, they're anti-Jewish, they're anti-Semitic, they're anti-right, all of that. And virulently so. The American Firsters, they are Nazis, okay? They're like full Nazis. The MAGAs are like 2/3 Nazis, okay? But here's the problem, is when you have mainstream MAGA, Trump cult of personality people like Benny Johnson protecting Trump by throwing Netanyahu under the bus, what it actually does is it makes it so a bunch of disgruntled MAGA that don't like Trump and they don't like Benny and they're tired of this shit, they're going to look at America First and be like, oh, that America First party seems pretty cool. And they're going to start defecting, okay? They like Benny and Megyn Kelly are helping the defection of the MAGA extremists into the America First movement, okay? And now, don't get me wrong. This brings up other problems because the America First movement is even more toxic. I mean, we saw Dan Bilzerian saying the N-word on TMZ. They're even bigger shitters. However, we don't have to worry about them now, okay? In 2026, they're not going to do shit except help us win back the House and maybe the Senate, okay? That's the thing. And Engrain, no, we made it. We made it tonight. We made it like right after the buzzer. So we're good. Don't worry about it. We got it. But you know what I'm saying? I think right now we're going to have to deal with some of that shit, I think, in 2028. But right now in 2026, they're not a real threat to anything, okay? They're not. They're not a real threat to anything in 2026. But I do believe they can help us destroy the MAGA movement enough to maybe take back both chambers, guys. And especially if Trump doesn't get out of this war, okay? You know what I'm saying? Right? And let's see what he says here, though. Let's look at some of this social media.
Interesting. Yeah. And I don't know. Decided to go to war with Iran after a closed-door Israeli pitch with his meeting where Bibi Netanyahu effectively used an opportunity where J.D. Vance was gone in order to spill lies. And now you'll be shocked to learn that the Israeli government is angry about the Trump ceasefire with Iran. Excuse me, I couldn't care less about a foreign country's opinion about our president's actions. Yes, thank you. We have like our own country to save here, okay?
Yeah, but you guys don't realize, you dumb shits. See, this is gruntled. I know, Anna girl, I make up gruntled, right? I just use words differently, as you'll see. Like sometimes I pronounce them wrong and I use them incorrectly. I do my own shit. It is a made up word. Yeah. Is it a word? Is it? Oh, is it really a word? All right, dude. It's like fucking let's see if gruntled is a word. Oh, it is. It is satisfied, contented, or pleased, acting as the back formation antonym to disgruntled. Oh shit, I was using it wrong though. So I guess gruntled is supposed to be content, but like I use it differently, right? I use it as like somebody who's like disgruntled, but they can't be disgruntled. Like they're right. I use gruntled when people are disgruntled, but they have to pretend like they're not disgruntled. Dude, let's go. Oh shit. It apparently, like, I take liberty with language, though. It's part of my shtick. But guys, one of the things that I think is fucking crazy about this, that is sort of hitting these people in the face right now, these MAGA shitters, is, did you hear what Benny said there? He said, like, oh, we gotta, like, we don't care what other leaders say, like, America first. But, dude, they literally hitched themselves to like the biggest Zionist guy on the planet. Okay. A guy who is like compromat from both Israeli intelligence going all the way back to the 80s probably, and Russia. And they've hitched themselves to somebody who is so owned. Like Donald Trump is like so owned, you know what I'm saying? He is so owned, and now they're like, why is he so owned? And it's like, dude, he's always been owned. You guys are now owned because you sold yourself to somebody who is owned.
A few minutes after the Pentagon briefing wrapped, I spoke with President Trump briefly and asked him about his latest with Iran and Donald Trump.
Dude, look at him.
Effectively saying, like, I'm not going.
Look at him. He's sad, dude.
Going to be tying the future of America to Israel and Israel's decisions in the region.
Look at how
here's what I believe. You're not going to find me sitting here banging my fist on the table, like one way or another about any country, honestly. I mean this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I love America.
You look upset,
I don't hate
Benny.
The Iranians. I don't hate Israel. I don't hate the Russians, and I don't hate the Chinese. I want what's best for America.
Yeah. You know what would be best for America, Benny? Would be if you would just GTFO, buddy. Right? You should grab like a little harem of TPUSA boys, and you should go to like Uganda or some other deeply Christian part of the country and just GTFO, boss. Go there and like bang the Bible and like whatever, preach the word of Christ out in the street. You guys can kumbaya and whatever. You know what I'm saying? But dude, doesn't he look sad? He's like defeated.
If that means bad things for all of those countries, I don't care. That's what we do here. Meaning, I typically what happens is good things for America means good things for all those countries. They're all major trading partners. A lot of them benefit from a secure world, secure shipping lanes, all the nice things.
Yeah, but Benny, we don't have any trading partners anymore because your little fucking train wreck of a president tariffed the shit out of everybody and ruined all of our trade relationships. we don't even have any allies anymore, Benny. The only real ally America has right now, I think, is Israel. Everybody else hates us, dude. Israel and Qatar and Saudi Arabia. That's it. And El Salvador, which is like, what do they have to offer? And Argentina, that like just needs money before every election because Malays down there just destroying the fucking country. We have no allies. Everybody hates us except for like 5 shitty countries. You're triggered. You're about to log off. I'm sorry, Jet. Hang in there. I know it's triggering, but like these guys, dude, they're self-destructing. Don't worry. The light is coming.
That America provides. But I'm frankly, like utterly sick of any other country being considered over America. And I think that's frankly like what people are the most frustrated about right now.
Dude, look at him.
It's why I'm really happy
to
be decoupled.
Yeah, you look happy.
From this region. As far as I'm concerned, close down every single American base.
Yeah, you look happy,
close down
Benny.
most of the American bases across Europe too. And every American base in Ukraine.
Dude, doesn't he look happy, guys? He's like, I'm happy. I'm happy. No, wait, what are you looking at? I'm happy. Dude, yeah, those bases are closed down because they all got closed down by Iranian missiles. You dumb fucks. Dude. Dude.
I don't see it. I don't understand it. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Like I think that it's fine. I think it's good to be a world empire. I think I want America to succeed.
Dude, Benny's grinder profile is going to be humming today.
Something that we do on behalf of other nations. Certainly don't want some other nation to walk into our White House and to lie about an operation to our president. That's what happened. That's what Israel did here.
Oh,
it's unforgivable as far as I'm concerned. You should never want that.
Unforgivable. Dude. Wow. Isn't that crazy? Guys, I don't know why, but that whole thing, I'm just going to let him play in the background. But that part where he says, like, I'm happy that we're figuring this out. Look at him. Dude, he is bent, bro. He is bent. Dude, he is. Look at him. He's so torqued. He needs some wiener to cheer himself up. Dude, he is a whiner, right? But to be honest though, with you guys, like Benny he's going through a lot, guys. Okay? Because not only did he hitch himself to Donald Trump and that shit is crashing out, but he's gotten his wife pregnant like every fucking year and her body just gave out. They had a miscarriage and he hasn't really said anything about it publicly. And this was after he was like, he had posted something like 5 kids in 5 years. Like, we're Christians, we're taking over. And like one of the kids was holding the sonogram. And then like a week later, she had a miscarriage because her body is jacked. I mean, women aren't supposed to have kids. Like, you need to heal in between having a baby. You really do. 5 in a row is so brutal. So, dude, he's like, they're fucked up. They are. Like Benny, and he got outed by Milo. Okay, he got outed as being gay by Milo, and he said he was going to sue, and he's not going to sue because everyone knows Benny's gay. And I mean, you know, I don't really feel sorry for him because he's a degenerate liar. So Benny, fuck you. Like, I don't care. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I even got in their comments about the miscarriages. Like, maybe you should let your wife's body heal for a little bit, buddy. And I know that's pretty cruel, but whatever. I'm a cruel guy with these fuckers, but he is crashing, okay? They are crashing, dude. They are fucking crashing out hard. Dude, it couldn't happen to nicer people, too. Dude, seriously, screw these guys, okay? But man, But one thing I will say though is if you look at this, Maggie Haberman, she is a Trump apologist. Okay, Maggie Haberman, she's been real problematic. She's been real fucking problematic. And so now they're trying to give Trump an off-ramp, okay? And they are you know, they're blaming it on Netanyahu, right? And this is farcical is the word, right? And they're saying that the U.S. intelligence analysis said that Netanyahu shit was farcical, okay? They said they had broken down Netanyahu's presentation, okay? And the U.S. officials assessed that the third and fourth parts of Netanyahu's pitch, which was like the Kurds doing a ground invasion, were never going to happen, okay? And they said that, you know, the regime change scenarios were farcical, okay? So that's really... Now, guys, dude, I want to go and say on a grander scheme, regime change itself is farcical, guys. Let's be serious. Regime change, when provoked by a third party, has never worked, okay? Literally, the Ayatollahs in power because we did regime change in Iran, okay? So that's how well regime change works. It never works, dude. Regime change is always farcical, and it always has been, right? Dude, nobody trusts us. Right now, nobody in the world trusts us. And so this whole thing was ridiculous. And Rubio cut in and said, in other words, it's bullshit. And despite it being bullshit and despite it being farcical, Trump did it anyway. Why? Because Trump is beholden to Netanyahu and Putin and all of these influences, right? Isn't that wild, guys? Dude, isn't that crazy shit? That shit is crazy. Like, yeah, if there's gonna be any regime change, please let it be here in America, right? If I'm gonna pray to the regime change God, I'm praying for regime change here, right? And like I said the other day, is sending the Trump admin to the Stone Age, is that on the table? Is that an available option? Is that an option we can look into? Because if it is, I think we should seriously consider it. Right? Oh, all right. Let's go. All right, guys. So, dude, there is one more thing I want to look at that like is probably a larger story, and maybe we'll look at it tomorrow. But I think you may have noticed that there's like a huge Hasan smear campaign happening now. And some of this is because of El-Sayed in Michigan. Okay, he's running against Mallory McMorrow and Haley Stevens. I think Haley Stevens is like out. Okay, do you guys know Haley Stevens? Dude, she's crazy, okay? Haley Stevens is like, she's so fucking weird, guys. She's like the super Zionist Michigan Senate woman, and she's out, okay? She is out, okay? Haley Stevens is like crazy. Dude, this woman, oh my God, look at her. Dude, she's not human. So this was like Chuck Schumer's like desired candidate. Let's find a video of her, right? She's always dressed like a Mennonite. She is like so weird, dude. Haley Stevens, she is like so creepy. I don't even know why she's running, but I mean, I do. She's like the AIPAC candidate, the super AIPAC candidate, but watch her, dude. You ready?
Excursion, as the president describes it, is something you support?
No, it's a war that he started on his own. Michiganders don't want this. They're paying for it. We have 200 injured.
200 injured?
It's hitting us at the gas pump. It's hitting us in our pocketbooks. And
it's hitting us at the gas pump. It's hitting us in our pocketbook. Dude, look at that hair, dude. Dude, what the fuck is this woman, bro? Freak is right, dude. Hitting us at the gas pump. And the hair. Look at my hair. Oh, dude, Waldo did my hair. Waldo, the Mennonite Waldo did my hair. Hitting us at the gas pump. Dude.
It's something that the president began without the consultation of the American people and certainly of Congress. So all
right. So anyway, dude, she is all but done. Okay. This was the AIPAC candidate, guys. Okay. This was the AIPAC candidate. She's done. But now there's two other candidates. Okay. She's basically out. There's the J Street candidate, which is McMorrow. And then there's Abdul El-Sayed, which is the guy Hasan is campaigning for, who I didn't realize he wrote that book about Medicare for all, right? And like transitioning us to universal health care. Okay. So now the Democrats, though, are in some of the Democrats are in super attack mode with Hasan over this Senate race. And because of Hasan's doesn't like Gavin Newsom, and some people are trying to anoint Gavin Newsom, and there's gonna be this whole battle over the presidential shit. Dude, El-Sayed seems like the good candidate. Okay. McMorrow's not as bad as this woman. Okay, you know what I'm saying? McMorrow's not horrible, but she's also not great. But this woman is horrible. Okay, and now guys, let's be honest. I know they say that El-Sayed is too progressive, but guys, it's because he's a Muslim. Okay, it's not because he's too progressive. I know they're saying he's too progressive, but it's because of his fucking let's be honest, guys. It's because his name is fucking Abdul, okay? Right? That's really what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's really the fact that his name is Abdul is why he's getting so much fucking grief, dude. You know? I mean, let's be fucking honest, okay? I guarantee you, if he looked like John Ossoff and he was saying the same shit, they probably would fucking not be giving him nearly the grief, dude. Okay, he is very smart. Can I just show you the question? There was one question where somebody from the Free Press, you know who it was? It was that Olivia Reingold chick. Do you know who this chick is? Okay, she's the one in the Free Press article. Okay, this woman right here, dude. So fucking whatever, what's her fuck's Free Press had this article with Olivia Reingold. She's always wearing these big stupid glasses, okay? And so Olivia Reingold is now Barry Weiss's new reporter, okay? So dude, and they're heavily pushing this fucking whatever, this Larry Ellison Zionism shit, okay? Now, dude, I get so annoyed with her with those glasses. Those glasses, dude, bother me when you have these tiny women wearing these huge fucking glasses. She's kind of dude, all right, however you judge her physical appearance, come on now. All right. But anyway, the thing is she asked this question. All right. Forget about whether you find her attractive or not. Okay, but watch this. Okay, this was she asked a question. Okay, where she asked, you ready for this? Watch this question, dude. Right here. Okay, so Reingold says, does Israel have a right to exist as a Jewish state? Okay, right? That was her question for El-Sayed. Okay, and he says what do you mean by a Jewish state? And she's like, right? She was having her Bethany Mandel moment where, like, they don't really know how to answer that because that question is a real problem, guys. What do you mean by a Jewish state, right? Because what do they mean by it? I mean by a state that, like, only Jewish people have rights in that state? That seems weird. Like, what does that mean? And she's like, and he says, if you can't define your question, I'm not going to answer it. Yeah. He like, dude, it's pretty good though. Watch this. This is pretty funny here, right?
That the circumstances that created that, it didn't happen in a vacuum.
Okay, here we go.
Live in the same on their own without a context. Or today, we can play this rhetorical game where we pretend that all actions stand on their own without a context, or we can try and have an adult conversation about context that exists in the world. Because at the end of the day, we all live in the same confined world. The things that happen one place in the world can affect what happens somewhere else in the world. And if we're serious about preventing bad things from happening in the world, we also have to be serious about the context in which they're created. And I'm trying to be serious about that context. So I can both say that the attack on Temple Israel was anti-Semitic and wrong. And I can also say that the circumstances that created that, it didn't happen in a vacuum. And that those circumstances that created that are important to stand up against as well. So, you know, the notion that somehow I cannot condemn a war.
So to read between the lines here, there is this constant battle in this region, okay, with the Israel and the Palestinians, is like Hamas will do an attack or somebody does an attack and Israel says, whoa, that is an anti-Semitic attack. And it is like, yes, that was an anti-Semitic attack and that is bad. And part of the reason why these anti-Semitic attacks are happening is because you're trying to extinguish all the Palestinian people and you're oppressing the shit out of these people. And that is helping enable the terrorist factions to rise up and continue these types of attacks. So there's a circle happening here where let's stop the oppression. And then if we stop the oppression and start like being reasonable, then maybe all this fucking anti-Semitic shit will cease as well. Let's look at the context here. And guys, that's a fair point. Okay. I mean, guys, we get this same shit here in America. Okay. And where I witnessed this was in LA. Okay. And it was what they want to call gang violence. Okay. Right? Is gang violence wrong? Yes. Gang violence is fucking wrong and it is bad. But guys, when you live in a poverty-stricken neighborhood and the gang called the LAPD comes in and oppresses the shit out of people, they have to join gangs to protect themselves from the fucking oppressive shit that they're growing up in. Okay? So the gangs that are like not healthy are uprising out of this deep fucking oppression where there's no other way for people to make a living or to escape the poverty or to be protected from ending up in prison than to fucking join a gang. Okay? And so like oppression begets violent fucking rebellion. That's just the nature of it. I mean, my God, I saw this in my own family where the more my dad was violently oppressing my older siblings, the more they acted out and fucking, you know what I'm saying? The more they acted out and the more they fucking rose up and caused fucking chaos. But now watch, here comes the Olivia Reingold question. You ready? Here we go.
That killed a little boy and a little girl in Lebanon because of an attack on Temple Israel seems to me inconsistent with the way the world actually works. And I'd like to live in a world where we stand up against any and all violence, understanding that anti-Semitism is wrong, understanding that wars that we should not be fighting are also wrong, and understanding that there really is a connection between the two of them, however much the rhetorical games that people try to play tell us that there somehow is not.
We're going to take two more questions. I'm sorry, we're going to have to move on to the next person. I'm sorry, Olivia.
As a Jewish state.
Olivia, we're going to have to
I'd love
move
to take the
on.
question. I'd love to take the question, actually.
Thank you.
What do you mean by Jewish state?
I feel like
if you can't define the question, I'm not going to answer your question.
Do you see that though? Olivia there is like, oh, does Israel have a right to stay as a Jewish state? And this person was trying to move on from it. And he said, no, I'll take the question, right? What do you mean by a Jewish state? She didn't have an answer. I feel like, right? And he's like, oh, if you can't define your question, I'm not going to answer it. And I mean, guys, that's fair, okay? I think that's fair, okay? Because this shit is like, you know, it's weird because, like, I don't know, man. It's so complicated because there's not an easy answer. But what we're already seeing is that Benjamin Netanyahu is not going to stop warring. Okay, like he wants to make war with every country in the Middle East. He wants to take as much territory as he can, and he wants us to fucking fund it. Dude, Howie Lindsay, let's go. Thank you for the membership. Dude, it is a bad faith question, okay? You know what I'm saying? It is a bad faith question because I don't really like, I don't know, dude. I think can Israel be a country? Yes. Right? All right. You have a country, Israel. Let's make a country called Palestine too, right? Or let's make a different name country that's neither Israel or Palestine where everybody has fucking equitable rights, right? I mean, there are many ways we could slice this up. You can share the holy sites, whatever. There's ways of divvying this shit up. But like the whole idea of a Jewish state, like, what does that mean? That's like the people who want to say America's a Christian nation. And it's like, no, America is not a fucking Christian nation, guys. Okay? America is a nation where there is Christianity, but there's also Islam and Judaism and Hinduism and fucking Shinto and fucking Buddhism and fucking whatever, right? There's probably fucking there's Mormonism. There's probably 500 other fucking whatever, you know what I mean? But we are not a Christian nation, okay? When people say America's a Christian nation, I'm like, fuck you, dude. I don't think there should be any like religious nations. And I'm telling you right now, guys, I know that there are like whatever Sharia law, there's like, you know, Muslim nations and shit in the Middle East, but I think that's bullshit too. You know, I think that those countries that are ruled by Islam are not pleasant. I think any country that is ruled by a religion, none of them are fucking pleasant, dude. They're always oppressive, like brutal shit regimes. You know what I'm saying? They are, dude. Everywhere where there's religious, like theocratic rule is just brutal oppression. Okay? You know what I'm saying? It is. It is brutal oppression if there's theocratic rule. Always. Because religions are like not good, dude. You know what I'm saying? Most Muslim nations don't follow Sharia. Yeah, I know. But there are a couple Sharia fucking countries in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? There are a couple in the Middle East. But they're like, I just think theocracy is bad. It doesn't matter if it's fucking a Jewish theocracy, a Christian theocracy, a Muslim theocracy. If it was a Hindu theocracy, all religious theocracies are fucking bad, dude. They all are, man. You know what I'm saying? Dude, let's go, dude. Hey, Mike Tower, dude, I will check out the link and we'll have to watch that. You know what I'm saying? Saudi Arabia is kingdom law, not Islamic. All right. Yeah, I don't know what Saudi Arabia is, but theirs is shitty too, dude. Okay? Theirs is shitty as well. It is, dude. Saudi Arabia. I think Saudi Arabia is one of the smarmiest, to be quite honest with you. As far as like, I'm not talking about the people living in that country. I'm talking about MBS and their government. The Saudi Arabian, like whatever royal family regime is like one of the smarmiest. I mean, they pay for a lot of terrorism, but they don't actually like attach to it. Okay. They're oppressive. They're brutal. They're like super, like men have way more rights than they should. There's a, like, I don't know, dude. They play multiple sides of conflicts. Dude, they're so greasy. They are, dude. They're so greasy, right? And they're the farthest from the religion. They're fake. Yeah, all right. Well, I mean, okay. But still, that doesn't mean that theocracies aren't bullshit, right? Even though they're fake, American Christians are fake too, right? They're all about money and power, right? But fucking theocracies, though, in general, are oppressive because the religion where there's a deity is oppression. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what it is. Like, all religion is you submit to a singular higher power, and that's literally the definition of fascism, okay? So there is no way you can have a theocratic government with a monotheistic religion. That's not going to be fascism. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, it's like monotheistic religion is fascism. It's literally, that's what it is, dude. If there is one ruler, that's fascist, right? But I see what you're saying. I see that you're saying that they modify the Sharia or whatever, or modify whatever religious laws they're doing. My issue is with the religion itself, with a monotheistic religion that is inherently fascist. Okay, you know what I'm saying? If you have a monotheistic religion, that is a fascist entity, right? Period. All right. Dude, let's go. But anyway, so the thing that I wanted to point out with this, I got a little sidetracked because we got into El-Sayed and shit, but I do want to point out this, guys. I want to point out what Laurel Loomer now, everyone is on Hasan's jock, okay? They're on his jock because of him saying he's going to vote third party if Gavin Newsom's the candidate. Now, guys, I fundamentally disagree with that, okay? I love that Hasan is campaigning for El-Sayed, and I would love for Hasan to actually run as a socialist and, like, really put his theoretical words about socialism and all that into action. And if he would be a candidate, he has enough clout. I would love to see him like go and try to win as a socialist and actually use his clout to enter into the political arena. I would like to see that, right? I understand why he doesn't, though, because it's really risky, because if he ran and lost, it would wreck his whole fucking shtick, and that would be really problematic, because then he wouldn't be able to say, like, it would be so easy if you did it my way. So I get it. It's very complicated. However, I still agree with a lot of his policy positions, okay? I do. I agree with a lot of his policy positions, okay? He's not wrong in a lot of ways. A lot of his policy positions are spot on. And he's got a voice that gets people activated. Okay. He speaks to people and they respond to him. And I think there's a role for that. Now, I fundamentally disagree, though, with the whole like voting for a third party, because I do believe that even if you hate Gavin Newsom, even if you think Gavin Newsom is trashy and milquetoast and mediocre, if Gavin Newsom were the guy that the voters voted for, he's better than J.D. Vance. You know what I'm saying? But like, that's where I disagree, because I think that you can oppose whatever. You can oppose the Democrats and fight the centrists and do your thing. But at the end of the day, whoever wins the Democratic primary is going to be a better option than J.D. Vance. And so I think we should rally behind whoever wins the Democratic primary. And so I think announcing it early with this polarizing Gavin Newsom shit is kind of like silly, but whatever. I get it. He's like, he's doing his thing. He's got to make his living. And he's got a right to make his living and to do his thing, right? It is a free fucking country. But guys, they're attacking the shit out of him. Okay, they are. They're attacking the shit out of him, and it's probably only helping him like build his notoriety in his leftism. So whatever. But dude, did you see what Laura Loomer did, guys? Because this shit is just creepy. Okay, look at this shit. All right, you ready? So Laura Loomer, dude, it just gets weirder. Look at this tweet, dude. You ready? Just watch this, guys. Because this is weird, dude. Laura Loomer, okay, says exclusive pics, okay? Exclusive pics from Laura Loomer. Okay, now Laura Loomer, by the way, is attacking everybody who's not like the craziest Zionist. Like she is like polishing the Trump knob. Okay, but you ready? You ready, dude? So it says exclusive pics. And she says, a source sent me these photos of Hasan Piker and his assistant wearing pro-socialist clothing while sleeping in first-class seats on a Delta flight today from Detroit, Michigan to LAX airport in California. This is what we call champagne socialism. Piker was flying back from Michigan today where he just campaigned with jihadists. She says, Michigan Democrat, U.S. Senate candidate Abdul El-Sayed, right? Anti-billionaire socialist club, they say, from their first-class seats. Okay? But guys, if I could afford to fly first class, okay, I would fly first class. I mean, why wouldn't you? They're better seats. It's better food. I mean, I'm not going to fault the guy for flying first class because he's got money, okay? You know, like, what the fuck, dude? Is he going to fly in coach? I wouldn't fly in coach if I didn't have to. I mean, give me a fucking break, dude. Dude, you think if I can afford to take my family on a plane flight first class, I'm not going to buy first class? Like, come on, boss. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he paid for it. He's got money. He's up there. But I mean, dude, look at these pictures, though, dude. Dude, who took these pictures? Okay? Like, who took these fucking pictures? Bro, like, this picture is, like, right in his fucking grill. Dude, you know what I'm saying? And, I mean, look at him, dude. This guy is, like, zonked. This guy does not really look like he's living it up. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, dude. He looks tired, okay? And it says anti-billionaire socialist club. And like, guys, Hasan is rich, okay? And like, sure, if the Dems lose, does Hasan get a tax cut? He does. And that's why I think there is some integrity there where he should always be supporting the Dems, right? Me personally. But dude, Hasan is not a billionaire, okay? And I don't have a problem with people having millions of dollars. I don't have a problem with somebody having $10 million. I do have a problem with billionaires. I don't think all rich people are billionaires. And we should make a distinction there that, like, yeah, Hasan is in an elite class because he definitely has millions. And he is definitely unaffected when a Republican wins. He doesn't personally feel the effects of that. Okay, he's gonna get the tax cut, whatever, but he is different than fucking Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. And for them to try and lump him into the same strata as like the billionaires is fucking bullshit. Okay, that is bullshit. Okay, it really is. But dude, the thing that weirds me out about this is these pictures, guys. Okay. The thing that weirds me out is these fucking pictures. Who took these pictures? Okay? Seriously, who took these pictures? Right? Like, dude, somebody is like right in his fucking grill, dude. Was it the flight attendant? Did somebody from Coach sneak up there? I mean, dude, it is weird, guys. It is weird that, like, they're literally, like, right up in their fucking grill. Now, guys, let me just tell you this, okay? And let's be very clear here hear me out on this, okay? You ready? Hold on, I gotta fix, we blew out the chat. And like, here's the thing that I don't get. Is Joe Rogan, okay? Joe Rogan, who is somebody that Laura Loomer and all these assholes are fine with, okay? Joe Rogan is worth like way more than Hasan is, okay? Right? Joe Rogan doesn't act like it, right? With his whatever common everyman t-shirt shtick. But like Joe Rogan, dude, has like hundreds of millions of dollars. Joe Rogan is like on his, you know what I'm saying? Joe Rogan is like the supreme sort of capitalist. And they don't have an issue with him. But like Hasan has, a couple $1 million and a nice house in LA or whatever. And they're like freaking out. Now, guys, Rogan doesn't fly first class. You're right. He has a fucking private jet, dude. Dude, this shit is stupid. Okay? This shit is fucking stupid, bro. It is. Now, dude, let me just tell you, if I was as famous as Hasan, I would not fly coach, guys. Part of it is like a fame thing. When you get to a certain level of fame, you got to be careful flying coach. It could get fucking weird back there. You know what I'm saying? Like I think fucking flying in first class is not like the end of the world, dude. I would do it if I could afford it, Dude, coach is dope. Yeah, no, dude, coach sucks, bro. It does, dude. Coach sucks. I just think these picks are weird. Look at this pick of Hasan, dude. He's just trying to like fucking take a nap or whatever with a headset, and somebody is like fucking right in his grill. Dude, it's so stalkery, right? When am I flying next? I am flying next I'm going to New York City in August, okay? So I will be going to New York City in August. When you can donate, dude, when you donate $500K, I will fly first class. Dude, I can't afford to fly first class right now. I mean, I'm not piss poor, but I'm not like, I am living monthly paycheck from YouTube to monthly paycheck, but I am comfortably living monthly paycheck to monthly paycheck. And by the end of the year, I think I might even have a little bit of money in the bank. I mean, it took me a while to get out of debt because for a couple of years, I was living on credit cards while building this channel, right? You know what I'm saying? There's been a major hack. What's there been a hack in? But these pictures are just creepy, dude. But I am going to New York in August, all right? There's been a major hack. What is the hack, dude? What's the hack of? Hack of what? Oh shit. Florida Senate race. Of Facebook and Insta? Oh shit. No, there was a hack of people's Instagram and Facebook passwords? You're looking at compromising picks? I don't want to see any compromising picks, okay? Dude, all of them? Oh, shit, dude. All right. Dude, put links to the hack. You see. Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing it on the news yet, right? I'm not seeing it in the news. You can't because it's over IRC. You said the safe stuff? Yeah, no, I mean, safe stuff is fine. But yeah, you're allowed to, here's my deal, guys. You ready? So my deal is this, is I don't want any fucking compromising, weird fucking nudity shit in the Discord. And you ready? I don't want anything in the Discord that's going to fucking get me under suspicion of being arrested. Okay? So I don't want you taking illegal shit and putting it in the Discord, like shit that's going to fucking get me in trouble, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I don't want any of that. I don't want people to be in danger of getting arrested or getting in trouble because of shit. You know what I'm saying? But my Instagram is loading fine, okay? I'm in Instagram right now, and my shit is loading fine. So my Instagram is working. Yeah, so that's it. I just don't want anybody getting in trouble. You know, I don't want any illegal shit. Dude, Gen X George, ouch. Gen X George says, seriously, my rent went down $150 a month after 3 years of Biden. Trump's been president 1 year and it went back up $150 a month. Dude, I mean, that's the way it's going to go, guys. All right, but guys, I do have to go make videos. All right, it's been a pleasure. Dude, we did some good work tonight, okay? We got to slam a lot of people. All I can say is to Laura Loomer, you're a fucking weirdo. These pictures are creepy. Dude, the fact that somebody's taking those pictures, dude, somebody's like, oh my God, somebody got an upgrade on a domestic flight, right? And billionaires are fucking, dude, look at her, dude. Look at Laura Loomer. Oh my God, bro. Dude, it hurts to look at her. Dude, she is so greasy. She is, dude. Laura Loomer is so greasy. But like, guys, I don't have a problem with people being rich. I have a problem with people being beyond rich. Okay? Like billionaire rich. Like buying political officials rich. You know? That's what I have a problem with. Dude, look at that shit, bro. An air-conditioned lawnmower? Dude, what the fuck is this, bro? Yeah, this one never took off, bro. Dude, let's go. Dude, Jay Castro, I'm going to try, baby. We're going to try to keep people educated, and mostly I'm going to try to keep people laughing, right? Oh, well, you know what I will say is this, though. Dystopian Banana. What I will say is this, is I saw some shit yesterday where like a whole bunch of planes were leaving Israel, and I've been seeing shit where there have been grumblings that like the military is collapsing. So I don't know. I think there might be some internal strife happening in the Netanyahu regime, okay? That I think there is some internal shit going on inside the Israeli regime where I think it's buckling under the pressure because, guys, there has never been this much like Benjamin Netanyahu has made it so there is like worldwide anti-Israel government sentiment. Okay? They really did overplay. He was too ruthless. He was too cruel. They've meddled in too many political scenarios, too much involvement or appearing to be involved with Charlie Kirk and, this Epstein blowback. And they're hostile against that regime, as they should be. The whole world is like, fuck this regime, dude. And I mean, Netanyahu should probably be in jail along with that Ben-Gvir guy. Like, my God, dude, with the hanging and all that shit, that Ben-Gvir guy should be in fucking prison too, dude. What a fucking weirdo, bro. Seriously, dude. Right? That Ben-Gvir guy, that guy is like Ted Bundy, bro. He is. He is like Ted Bundy with a fucking government job, dude. Just not. These people are not okay. you know, and Trump is in that same fucking category, dude. All of those guys should get an air-conditioned lawnmower and GTFO, boss. GTFO. Gavin Newsom is another Republican pretending to be a Democrat. See, I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. The Gavin Newsom thing is hard because, like, he's also been a champion of some civil rights shit, you know, and he actually did a lot for LGBTQ people and stuff. So I don't know. Gavin Newsom is a tough nut to crack, right? Because he's definitely not a Republican, but he is corpo. You know what I'm saying? And like, but I also, his wife is kind of a nut, dude. I kind of like his wife. She's sort of like, I don't know. She's like really like, you know, I don't know. I like his wife, dude. Right? He's against taxing the wealthy. See, I don't think he's against taxing the wealthy because California actually has quite a bit of taxation. He is against state billionaire taxes, but I don't think that's a bad thing. You can't tax billionaires on a state level. You can't, because they'll just move their operations to Texas or Nevada or Florida where there's no income tax. You need to tax billionaires on a federal level. State wealth taxes are evadable. Okay, that's not a proper way to attack them. Okay, honestly, right? State wealth taxes are super dangerous, and they give billionaires ways to wriggle out of them, and they in fact reward these other shitty red states that have no taxes. You need federal clamp down on billionaires. You know, so I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I want to see Gavin Newsom go on Hasan's show, right? But yeah, I'm just not buying that Gavin Newsom is a Republican because Gavin Newsom has had 25 years of being a Democrat. So when you say that Gavin Newsom is just a Republican, I'm not buying that, right? I'm not buying that. I think that is fucking fear-mongering because the guy has 20 fucking years of record of being a Democrat, and you want to take like one or two things he's done and try to like take away the 20 years of his thing. Okay. And like, so I'm like, I'm not saying Newsom is the answer, but I'm also like, I don't think he's the devil that you're trying to paint him out to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to remove 20 years of his record because of a couple moves. Okay. You know, dude, I do want the Hasan Newsom thing to happen, right? I think that would be really interesting, right? You know, and I mean, I don't see why Gavin Newsom wouldn't do it. I mean, he's been doing everybody. He's been putting everybody on the podcast, right? Right? Yeah, I just, this whole like taking somebody's entire record and just becoming blind to it because of one or two like bad moves. I'm not playing that fucking game, okay? Because you could destroy any candidate that way, right? They love Ro Khanna, but look at his stock trades, right? Oh, right? But no, they're not going to fucking disavow Ro Khanna because he's like the king of AI stock trading, right? It's like, come on, you don't get to trash one fucking person, okay? You don't get to trash people's entire fucking records over one or two things. We're not doing that. Okay, like nobody's going to be the perfect candidate. But again, we're going to have a primary and we're going to see who the voters pick. I mean, I have my personal favorite. Like right now, the guy that I actually like is I like Andy Beshear. Okay, I do. I like Andy Beshear. But a lot of people like want to eat my lunch for that. But I think right now, if there was a primary right now, I would be voting for Andy Beshear as the Democratic presidential candidate. I don't even know if he's running, but he is a policy guy that's had real world success in Kentucky. Okay. He is a guy that like red, blue, and independent, like feel represented by him. He doesn't, you know, the red people in Kentucky don't feel like he only governs for the blue. And I think that's really important. I think that like having a president that represents even the people who voted against him, I think is fucking important. But we have a long way to go. But I'm not going to just trash people based on one fucking event. Okay. I feel like we, you know, we're going to have a primary though, ultimately. And people are going to vote. And at the end of that, right? Dude, I really like Andy. Like Andy is like, he's an actual, like, I think he actually wants to do good for people, right? He does. I think he actually wants to do good for people and not just, it's not just like a political thing with him, you know? But yeah, dude, oh my God. Dude, the smear campaigns are going to be brutal. Dude, they're happening right now with Swalwell, and I don't know if they're serious, but we're going to look at all this shit. But again, guys, I'm not stumping for Gavin Newsom because I don't love him. He's not my candidate of choice. But I will say this. If at the end of the primary, Gavin Newsom was the primary winner, I would vote for him without hesitation, okay? I'm not going to vote for him, but if he wins the primary, I will vote for him for president against the Republicans with no fucking hesitation whatsoever, and I will feel good about the vote because at the very least, I feel like he would be willing to weaponize the power of the presidency. And I think we're going to need that. We definitely need somebody who's going to weaponize the presidency and maybe fucking expand the court and shit. But I like Andy Beshear right now. He's the guy that I like. Of course, if AOC was running, AOC would get my vote. Absolutely. I'm going to be, guys, I'm going to be curious to see what Kamala Harris's campaign looks like because she actually did have some really good policy ideas that like nobody wanted to listen to. And I'm curious what it's going to look like when she runs an actual campaign. If she fucking like chooses a side and doesn't ride the middle because she is more left than she portrayed herself when she was running under Joe Biden. But so I think it's going to be interesting, guys. I really do, dude. I think 2028 is going to be very fucking interesting, bro. Like, dude, I feel like really it's anybody's ball game. Dude, she really, though, she got a lot of votes, dude. She got like 7. She got the second most votes in presidential history, guys. So it'll be interesting to see where she comes out, right? I'm intrigued. Because, guys, I liked Kamala. You know, she dropped out of the primary early in 2020, but I actually liked, you know, like I may have voted for her in 2020, dude, if she had stayed in the primary. I'm serious. Dude, you never liked her? I always liked her. I mean, she got a little caught up in the 90s, like the 90s jail shit, which was like a societal thing that everybody sort of got caught up in. But I did like her. I liked her. I've always liked her, dude. She's a powerful woman of color, man. And she's like, I thought she was great in the Senate too. But she was in a tough spot, though, guys. She was in a tough spot. She was in kind of an unwinnable spot because she, you know, she didn't want to shit on Joe Biden. And you know, she was a black woman running in a country that hates black women. Okay. You know, I mean, dude, let's be honest. America hates fucking black women, dude. This country sucks, dude. Black women are not free yet in America. They're not. And it fucking pisses me off. Dude, it's not like black men are much more free, but black women, America hates black women, dude. Okay, this country does. They still have not gotten their due, not even close. But all right, it's gonna be interesting. But now we dance. All right, let's go, baby. We're gonna keep fighting. 2020 is going to be interesting, guys. See, guys, can I just tell you though, guys? See, here's the thing I want to say, guys. Okay? And before we dance, I want to say this because I want us to be realistic, guys. Okay? Because we could have a candidate promise us Medicare for all in 2028, but they're not going to be able to deliver Medicare for all in 2028 because we have not yet begun to detangle, like Obamacare tried to start detangling from the insurance industry. That's why Kamala's policy about having Medicare pay for disabled and pay for elder care would have been a great first step towards moving us towards Medicare for all, because it would have put the federal government into a bargaining chip of determining the price of care. So that would have been good. I know a bunch of people sent me some information. I have Abdul El-Sayed's book is coming from the library. I'm going to start researching this, okay? Because we have to figure out a way to get there, because right now people can promise us the world, but they're not going to necessarily be able to deliver it. So we do have to be careful about like, because I don't want somebody to promise me, I don't want somebody to promise me Medicare for all knowing they can't deliver it. So then everybody can be even more disgruntled and finger pointy afterwards. Okay. Like what I want to see is I want to see people moving us towards actual shit. Okay. Moving us. And that's why I myself want to research this and figure out if I can, if I can find the roadmap and become a vocal spokesperson to help sell the roadmap or whatever. I want to get involved, You know what I mean? I want to get involved. But like, my God, she would have been 1,000 times better president than Donald Trump would have been. Kamala would. And I'm intrigued, dude. I'm intrigued. Right? Yeah, we would have been doing fucking well. All right, you ready? All right, you ready, baby? Oh. Yeah, see, the thing that's really hard, guys, and this is the thing I'd like to work on, is like there are some aspects of the left that I feel like the Democrats just can't win. Not all leftists, but there are some leftists who, like the Democrats, they just don't want to vote for a Democrat, period. And I think the Democrats see that and then think a lot of leftists don't want to vote for them at all and are in fact trying to undercut them. And so then I think it creates this weird fucking battle. Okay. And I see it too. Like, even when I say, if you voted for Jill Stein, you're a fucking moron. And a bunch of people will get in my replies and tell me you supported genocide. And I'm like, dude, you live in America. If you make money in America, if you have a property in America, you support genocide too, because America is a genocidal nation. So don't tell me that like voting for Jill Stein is never going to get rid of genocide. Okay. Voting for Jill Stein is never going to get us health care. Voting for Jill Stein is never going to get us anything. And so you don't get to attack me like I'm some asshole because I'm telling you that voting for that grifter is getting us nowhere. Like the Democrats at least have political power. Okay, so if you get in with the Democrats and you run or you fucking like participate in the Democratic power system, there is political power to be had and we can move that power. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And no, I didn't see the upscaled. I will check those. All right? But dude, fuck Jill Stein. All right? But yeah, dude, but they get, it's like it becomes apparent though that some of them just don't ever want to vote for a Democrat. Like they hate the Democrats. You know? You put in react. All right, good. Yeah, good, because the other ones were a little low res. I like the up res. Thank you. All right, you ready? Let's go. It's time to dance, though. All right. Let's go. Dude, you know, last thing, though. Some of these guys, when I'm talking about Jill Stein, some of these people, they called me Blue MAGA. And I said, dude, I am not Blue MAGA, okay? Because MAGA did not like the centrists in the Republican Party. MAGA hated the centrists. MAGA were extremists that thought the centrists of the party were bullshit, and so they took over the party, okay? And then they strong-armed them, and they took over the party with their fringe shit. And I'm like, I am not an extremist. I am not really a centrist. I'm sort of a leftist, you know, like, but I'm okay with the center people, but I don't hate the central part of the party. I don't feel like I have to remove them and get rid of them all. I want to be able to work with them because I realize some of the country is centrist. And so, like, I feel like we're going to have to work with them too. But they call me Blue MAGA, and I'm like, dude, I am not an extremist trying to eliminate all the centrists or trying to take over the Democratic Party. If anything, if there were a Blue MAGA, they're the people who don't want to be Democrats and are trying to take over the Democratic Party. That is not me, okay? But it's so weird how they call me Blue MAGA and shit, and they fucking, you know, you don't like the centrists? Yeah, see, there are some centrists I don't like, and some centrists I don't mind. It depends. But I do realize that, like, there are just, you know, in the Democratic Party, there are, like, centrists. And in America, there are people that are nervous about change. And so you have to deal with those people. You, like, people that are nervous and scared of change, you have to bring the change to them. As opposed to, like, you can't force people who are nervous and scared of change to be unnervous or unafraid of change. You have to kind of, like, be the change and let them see it and feel it, and then they're more comfortable changing. There is a way to like instill change in people that are very scared of it, but it's not like, oh, you're a fucking pussy, you don't like change, fuck you. Dude, fuck Fetterman. Dude, Fetterman, though, he's an asshole. He's not a centrist, dude. He's a bootlicker. Dude, he is a fucking weirdo, boss. Yeah. Dude. Let's go, dude. Dude, for me, though, you know, for me, guys, can I just tell you, I think the number one problem is that most Americans are apathetic, not fucking, like, aware, and ignorant of the issues or how to get there, and they make really bad political decisions based on vibes and their personal feelings instead of anything informed. And like Americans, they don't vote. My God, in the primaries, nobody votes. Dude, nobody votes in the primaries, guys. Like, nobody. Our primary voting turnout is trash. And then everybody in America is super entitled, and they don't even fucking show up, right? And if they do show up, they're voting on vibes, right? Because America insulates white people. White people are so protected that white people can vote for the worst candidate and they still do well, right? Oh. Yeah, see, my thing with Gavin Newsom and the billionaires is this, is Congress would be the people that would pass a billionaire tax. The question is, would Gavin Newsom veto a bill that taxes billionaires? I don't think he would, okay? I don't think he would. Maybe he wouldn't initiate it, or maybe he would, but it's not the president's job. That's Congress's job. So if Congress will pass a law to tax billionaires, I think Gavin Newsom would sign it. I believe he would sign it, right? Again, I don't know if he's even going to make it through the primary. Like right now, the guy I like is 𝗫𝗍𝗫. But that's me. That's where I'm at, right? Oh, I am currently an 𝗫𝗍𝗫 guy. All right? There you go. Go fuck yourselves. Let's go, Andy. You like that? You like that? I'm getting saucy up here, dude. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. All right, here we go. Oh. Before we do the outro song, I do want to say one thing, guys. Okay, you ready? Yes. So, again, first off, one of the things I want to say is the person who's saying, if they force Newsom on people, dude, they can't force Newsom on people. There's going to be a primary. There's going to be like 10 candidates. Now, you may be looking at a situation where the people choose Gavin Newsom, but if that happens, you're going to have to get over it. Okay? You are. Because the voters are going to vote, but there's going to be like 10 candidates, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, the voters have the opportunity to vote not for Gavin Newsom, but they may vote for him. We don't know. They may vote for Kamala. We don't know, right? You're going to get somebody that the people are going to vote for, and then we got to back them. But I do want to say this, guys. The president is not that important. We spend way too fucking much time focusing on the goddamn president in America when they don't even really have that much power. It's Congress that makes the laws. We need progressives in Congress, okay? The president, all we need as a president is somebody who won't veto the progressive legislation. That's it, okay? Somebody who will take the rap, can fucking talk to the people, and if people are mad, can make them feel better, and won't veto shit. But Congress is what we should be focusing on. We spend all this time worried about the fucking president, but like Congress is the killer, dude. It was Congress that fucking obstructed all of Obama's shit. It was Congress that fucked Jimmy Carter's fucking shit. It's always the Congress. You know what I'm saying? It is always like Congress is, you know what I mean? It like if the Republicans were like good with Donald Trump, they'd be passing laws all over the place, but they're not doing shit, right? And so we need progressives in Congress, like a lot of them, like 200 of them. So that's why I really think what we want to do more than anything is make sure you're trying to get progressives in your local area in Congress. And if there's no progressives, like consider running and consider being the progressive to win your area. Because we need a lot more like AOCs and fucking, and Abdul El-Sayeds and shit in Congress, in the Senate and in the House, man. Like both, right? And if we do that, like, we'll be good. We'll be good, right? I just think the president is like, it's important. Don't get me wrong. It is important. But the Congress is much more important, right? And especially with the political climate now, if Congress is cranking out really good legislation, a president's going to be weary of vetoing it, because what are they going to do? They're going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to veto this fucking like bill giving you health care. I don't think that would be the fucking play, You know what I'm saying? But all right, you ready? Let's fucking go, baby. I will fucking see you guys tomorrow. All right? You're going to want to take care of your head. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Oh! Let's find something good. I want to find something good to go out with. Oh, I know what we're going to go out with. Dude, I always just want more, baby. I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night. Can I